is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look to the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it does stop, comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
The scale of dealing with anti-corruption issues. So there is a learning curve that we are going through. What is important is that the government supports the development of the institution so it can accelerate very quickly on that learning curve and provide the resources so that they can move very quickly on the learning curve, and that the government does not intervene or interfere. And that message goes to the opposition as well. Leave the anti-corruption and policing agencies to do their jobs. So why you come to with that foolishness, you know? You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right stand that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable. And stop making excuses for them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Happy Tuesday to those in television land. Happy Tuesday to our silent supporters. Happy Tuesday to everyone in the chat. Hope everyone has a wonderful start to the week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate each and everyone's support as usual. Tonight's topic is Devils in Disguise with your host Mystic Sensation, which is Baron and Anne-Marie. And we also have Melting Pot. Let me just go ahead. Remember, guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can. And if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. And a special shout out to all our channel members and also to our moderators. Let me just quickly welcome those in the chat. Beverly, Carla Ebanks, Ubuntu for Real, Maxwell Williams, Doris McCoy, June, Patel Cruikshank, Lionel McCormack, Gloria Blyden, Rennie Swaby, Josette Williams, CJ, Laverne, Devon Fletcher, Sharon Ricketts, Fiona Burnett, Lynette Jenkins, Paulette MacArthur, One Indian, Sadie Gale, Barbara Giwa, Kingsley Anglin, bless up, welcome. Without any delay, I'm going to hand over to Baron.
Thank you.
Patricia Banton, bless up.
Yes, thank you for that, honey, for that wonderful precursor. As always, you know I admire your hard work, right? Being the producer and the technical operator, right? Solid work, right? Before I, go any further, let me once again just, endorse all the people in the chat, all our lieutenants, right? Let me endorse also, right? Happy welcome to those locally, right? Home and abroad, right? We thank you all to pass through Mystic Sensation, right? Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, let me say, and I want people to share out this live tonight because we are going to touch some serious situation tonight. We'll be definitely dealing with full metal jacket, right, full metal jacket tonight, right, in terms of what we are going to reveal, right, the length and breadth of Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz corruption, right? 100% corruption. We are going to be revealing that. And we want to know if the DPP, right, is going to be the DPP for Jamaica or the DPP for Andrew Holness. We also want to know if the Commissioner of Police is going to be the Commissioner of Police for Jamaica or the Commissioner of Police is going to be the Commissioner of Police for Andrew Holness. All right. So bless up, Yuda. Bless up yourself. Long time don't see you, Yuda. Welcome. Love you, Yuda. Without any delay, let me just have Melting Pot, right? The Colonel, right? Meet and greet his wonderful people as usual.
As usual, Sir Byron, and one of love and blessing we bring when we come from the Mystic
Blessing.
Sensation Live. And we have to extend that, blessing to people out there. God, we love the people when they tune in and make things, energize for them one.
Yeah, volume low, Melting Pot. Speak up, spike up the volume.
Oh, that's so no.
Yes, man. That's it. That's how we want to hear you.
All right. So, as usual, we extend we love and the blessings to our people, and because we like to know when them come and them in the chat, them feel, energized and they can participate within the chat. So enough love and blessing to the Mystic Sensation family. Special shout out to my family, them down in the ground zero as usual. I have to always touch these people and make them know so them still in my heart and my thought. Bless up and enough love again to the 2 Mile Heights, them Kingston 13, Kingston 11. The places like Whitfield Town. Then I'm town, why you there on my mind from again. But when I come talk about that same. Yeah, Maxwell, yeah, Waltham, yeah, Union Garden, Payne Avenue, all of them places there. We have to send the love and blessing. Majestic Garden, same way. Agla Park Road, people, same way. Petora Road, God, there's some family them there. Big up yourself, Ocean. Yeah, Nadine, Michelle, Deborah, big up on yourself, Petora Road, Melting Pot Family Street. Yeah, so you don't know one love and one blessing, So, me have to still acknowledge my host, Sir Lord Byron. Technical director Lady Anne Maria, she have the gold finger and she make the thing, nice and spicy behind the scene. So without any further ado, over back to the floor to the host.
All right. Thank you for that, Melting Pot. Now, Jamaica, I want all of you who are listening right now, who tune in right now, to help share out this live. I want as many people, right, to be informed tonight in terms of what we are going to reveal. We have seen Darrell Vaz, right, run over NNN. But let me say to NNN and Jaws Davis that you guys need to do your research properly and stop the political spinning. Because what Darrell Vaz had done, right, was to use NNN to disseminate pure lies, 100% lies. And what we are going to establish tonight, we are going to show Jamaica, locally and in the diaspora, that Darrell Vaz, 1, need to be charged. 2, right, needs to be investigated. Darrell Vaz, 1, need to be investigated. 2, Darrell Vaz need to be charged. I am going to show you concrete evidence. What we are going to establish tonight, my Jamaican people, is the blatant, illegal donation of campaign funding using taxpayers' dollars. Darrell Vaz, you're guilty of this. We are going to prove it tonight. We are going to show specifically that both you and Andrew Honest use taxpayers' dollars to benefit, convert the use of taxpayers' dollars to your personal benefits, right? And illegally funding campaign. This is the evidence, right, that we are going to present tonight. Okay, all right, for Ratty, right, because people are asking for Ratty. Ratty called me, right, not too long ago, and you know, explain as it relates to some court issues that, right, he's dealing with, right. So next week, right, Ratty will be in studio with us, right. He has a lot, right, on his plate, and he wants to get off as much. So that is the reason why Ratty is not here. And Ratty and I, we had a good conversation earlier. So Ratty, I know you are listening. Big up yourself, my boss. See you next week. Now, we are going to show clear evidence. Clear evidence. And when we present it, we want to know if the DPP and the Commissioner of Police, if they are not going to pursue Darrell Vaz to have Darrell Vaz prosecuted. I am going to show the clear evidence. Clear evidence. Right? And I am saying to Darrell Vaz that you need to have a lawyer. Get your lawyer. Get your lawyer. And prepare. Because, believe you me, you ought to be investigated and be charged for what you have done. You went over NNN, as I was saying earlier, and you spoke all the lies. And I'm going to show the public that you had lied totally. And you said over NNM that you have gone through all the process legally. And you follow all the steps. That is a blatant lie you have told. Blatant lie. You look in the camera and you told Jamaicans a blatant lie. Your criminality is so pronounced. Andrew Honest's criminality is so pronounced. And we are going to prove it. Now let the people hear what you have to say over Big Mama. Producer, present that clip to the people, right, as it relates to what he said. The people want to hear you, Darrell Vaz, right? And let me say this. There is no way NNN can save you. So let me have the people listen to the evidence. Listen to your information. Listen to your argument. Let us hear you, Darrell Vaz.
News from Mr. Golden this morning that my ministry and myself operate fully, openly, and transparently. And those agencies.
All right. People, I want you to hear what Darrell Vaz said. That he operated fully, openly, and transparently. Let me let you hear that again. Because tonight, you know.
I have news from Mr. Golden this morning that my ministry and myself operate fully, openly, and transparently. And those agencies, specifically the IC and the Auditor General, have already written to the ministry and are already receiving all the documentation that they have asked for, which is their right. Yes? So I have nothing to hide, neither does the ministry. What I do know is that the bosses continue to prey on their mind and their soul and their heart because they are so upset of the results of the election, as I said before, played a huge role by the introduction of the buses.
Just let me get you clear.
Program.
So you're saying that the Auditor General has asked for documents to conduct an audit of the procurement of the buses, correct?
George,
Yes.
did you read the Sunday people? Did you read the Sunday Cleaner headline?
Yeah, man, but I'm asking you. You just said something, so I want to just get it clear.
But I don't need to tell you that because whoever it is that wrote already said partially the results of that
yeah, but your portfolio minister. You remember, you were the one who said it, so I just want to distill it so my listeners can be clear.
I'm saying it again. Of course.
Yes.
Well, I have news from Mr. Golden this morning.
Well, take that away, honey. Take that away. Take that away, Jamaica. Based on what Darrell Vaz said, we all heard what he said. Right? That he has full openness. Jamaica, what I'm going to reveal to you tonight is shocking. And this shows you how diabolical Darrell Vaz is. How diabolically mendacious Darrell Vaz is. But let me play Mark Golding response before we get into the evidence. Let us play Comrade Golding response. Honey, find Comrade Golding. Right? Let us play Comrade Golding response. Now here it is. And wish, of course, Comrade Golding, right, the opposition leader, has a right in terms of seeking a probe into the 1.4 billion school bus deal. Let us get into that. Opposition leader Mark Golding has written to 3 of the country's anti-corruption bodies requesting an investigation into the Transport Ministry's procurement of 110 used school buses brought in from the United States. Let me say this to you, Darrell Vaz. The Auditor General now is going to specifically look into this. And sir, line up yourself. Let me say to you, get a lawyer. All I'm saying to you, get a lawyer. Golding's July 2025 letters, copies of which the Gleaner received on Sunday, said apparent irregularities and other suspicious aspects relating to the procurement of the buses had been brought to his attention. His letters were addressed to the Integrity Commission, Auditor General's Department, and the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency. Comrade Golding, we thank you for what you have done. Holding the bull by the horn. Thank you, sir. On Monday, the Gleaner emailed questions to the entities to ascertain whether investigation had been launched, because based on what I am looking on and what I am going to reveal, we are asking the DPP, we are asking the Commissioner of Police to launch this investigation. Basil Jarrett Mocha's communication point man said he could not say much publicly. While Mocha can confirm having received the report in question, it is against the established policy to comment publicly on any actions taken or decisions contemplated in response to such matters. What I can say, however, is that a full and comprehensive evaluation is being undertaken in order to assess the credibility, the veracity, and substance of the allegations, he told the Gleaner. We thank you for that. We thank you for that in terms of that mission. Up to press time, there was no response from the IC or the Auditor General under Section 53, subsection 3 of the Integrity Commission Act until an investigation report is tabled in Parliament. All matters under investigation by that body must be kept confidential. Now, the commission and its staff are also forbidden from making any public statement regarding the initiation or conduct of an investigation. Golden pointed to the unsolicited proposal brought by Elijah Limited. He said the company is not an accredited motor vehicle dealer. There has been growing public concern regarding the cost of acquiring these buses. I have seen a copy of an invoice for 26 of the buses reflecting an average price of $16,350, right, US, or $2.6 million. However, the minister stated that the government paid $1.4 billion for 110 buses, which is an average unit cost of $12.7 million per bus. Darrell Vaz, get your lawyer. Let me warn you, Darrell Vaz. Get your lawyer. Get your lawyer, Darrell Vaz. This means the government has paid on average about $10 million more per bus than the overseas supplier's invoice price, the letter said. Further, he said that the invoice for 26 of the buses shows that Elijah purchased them from Treasury Advisory LLC, an entity based in Chicago. Come, people, come, make a go down in it. Minister Vaz has said publicly that Elijah is the sole distributor for these buses. That would suggest that Treasury is in the business of selling fleets of used school buses, it said. However, he said a look at Treasury's website suggests that the company offers business consultation. Want to hear that, people? He said there's no mention of transportation, much less school bus. We have serious things more than even what I come out here tonight, you know. Want to stick people, want to stick and stay. Golden said, VIN, the coding reports confirm that some of the units that were misrepresented as new in correspondence from the Jamaica Trade Board are in fact approximately 14 to 15 years old and have reportedly been imported as new without undergoing the mandatory pre-shipment inspection for used vehicles. On the things market G. I idiot. You, Darrell Vaz, you think the market G, I idiot. Let me tell you something, Darrell Vaz. Get your lawyer. And you're going to need a very damn good lawyer. You're going to need a very, very damn good lawyer, particularly when Mystic Sensation and Melting Pot done with you tonight. When Mystic Sensation and Melting Pot done with you tonight, because we are going to reveal other things that are going to be used against you. Besides, you know, get your lawyer. His letter said he attached a bundle containing several documents in support of the foregoing. In light of the above, I am requesting that a full independent investigation of the procurement of these buses and any relevant surrounding circumstances be conducted immediately. Take it away on it. Marky G, I hope you are listening to me tonight. I hope you're following Mystic Sensation tonight. Because what I am going to reveal right now, I am going to reveal something that you need to look into. Me know they go bust in bubbles. Me know they go expose him to the world. The reverse will know say all the wrongs that you have done, you know. One day you were going to get caught up. One of these days, I told you before, Darrell, that every day the bucket going to well. One day the bottom is going to drop out. And the 1.4 billion, as it relates to those monies that both you and Andrew Oles convert to your personal use and illegal campaign financing, the bottom is going to fall. Now, Jamaica people, let me show you our evidence. And I want the comrade leader to follow me on this. Honey, bring up the chronology of the 1.4 billion bus deal. You said over Big Mama that you have full openness and you follow guidelines. Jamaica, look where I'm going. Look where I'm going, Jamaica. Melting Pot, I want you to follow me and I want you to take down 2 special dates. And I'm going to have you write down those 2 special dates when I reach those dates. So let us go to the chronology of the 1.4 billion bus deal. On March 26, 2025, unsolicited proposal, Elijah submits the initial proposal to set, right? Now, April 7, 2025. Internal review proposal reviewed, right, by the ministry, JUTC and the Ministry of Education. May 7, 2025. The methodology approval, the permanent secretary approves the use of the single source procurement method, which is the direct procurement. May 14 to 15, 2025, the Public Procurement Committee submission, the recommendation to accept the proposal is sent to the Public Procurement Commission for endorsement. Now, go to the next document on it. We want the Jamaican people to look. Go to the next document. So we reach at May 22. I want the people them to follow me. Bangarang tonight.
I didn't get the second part.
You didn't get the second part?
No, you didn't give me the second part.
Okay, let me send the second part to you. All right?
The one part you gave me.
Okay, so there's the second part. So bring up that second part. Now, and let us highlight that second part to the Jamaican people. So we are going to reach at May 22. Wife is going to show that. Right? So let us just bring that document up. As I said to you, Mr. Vaz, that you need a lawyer. You need a lawyer, sir. Now, let us show Jamaica this. Bangarang here tonight. Right? Now, all right. So let us share that document. Okay, so expand it so that they can see it. So May 22nd, 2025, the Public Procurement Committee inquiry, the PPC asked the ministry to prove the proposal offers a unique concept not otherwise available. Want to hear that? May 27th. Melting Pot, I want you to write down this date. Tell me when I write it down, Melting Pot. You write it down?
May 27.
May 27 to 28, 2025. Have you written it down?
Yes, I've done that.
I want other people listening to write down that date. What happened May 27 to 28? That the Public Procurement Committee makes additional requests. The PPC flags missing data, information, while the ministry cites a prime minister's mandate for urgency. Write down this date again, Melting Pot. May 30, 2025. May 30, 2025.
Yes.
Meeting between the Public Procurement Committee and Ministry. The Ministry submits additional documents for consideration, including spreadsheet, providing verification, value for money analysis presented at the meeting. Take that document away. Jamaica, look here. Look on this, Jamaica, what I'm going to show. Let me explain this, Jamaica. What Darrell Vaz and Andrew Ones had done, right? Having the meeting on May 27, right? As it relates to the public procurement, right? Making certain requests. And on May 30, right? Meeting between the PPC and the ministry. The ministry submit additional documents for consideration. Jamaica. On May 30, when they submit those documents, Jamaica, Darrell Vaz and Andrew Ones has already approved the contract. You know, hear me, Jamaica? While they were seeking approval from the Public Procurement Committee, they circumvent the Public Procurement Committee and had already approved the contract. Darrell Vaz, get your lawyer. Where is the evidence, Mystic Sensation? Well, let me show you the evidence. That while they were having meeting for such approval, that approval was already given by Darrell Vaz and Andrew Ones. And by law, it ought not to happen. Darrell Vaz and Andrew Ones had already given that approval. Let us go to the document and show the evidence to the world. And you went over Big Mama, talking about telling lies. Let us show the document and let the entire world see what you have done. Let's show the evidence. We are here tonight. Let me show the evidence.
That one?
Yes. So here it is in plain sight. While you, Darrell Vaz, and Andrew Ones have been meeting with the Public Procurement Committee, right? On May 27 and May 30, where there is no approval from the Public Procurement Committee. Here it is in plain sight, evidence. Marky G, see the evidence here? May 27, 25. This is where Danville Walker responding to Darrell Vaz. And let us read the letter. Honorable Darrell Vaz, Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunication and Transport, Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunication and Transport. Dear Minister Vaz, re-permission to import 110 new buses. You create a lie to trick the system, Darrell Vaz, of 110 new buses. This letter serves to confirm receipt of your correspondence dated May 20, 2025 regarding the caption matter. Additional approval has been granted to Elijah to import 110 buses. So let me ask you a question, Darrell. Now you and Andrew Ones on May 27 seeking approval from the Public Procurement Committee. You have also gone there on May 30th, seeking approval from the Public Procurement Committee. While doing so, you are dirty hypocrite that you have already given approval. You have already given approval, and we're on May 27. You have also have gotten additional approval. Let us read over the letter. This letter serves to confirm receipt of your correspondence dated May 20, 2025 regarding the caption matter. Additionally, approval has been granted to Elijah to import 110 buses on behalf of the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications, and Transport for the Rural School Bus Transportation Program. Please note that our necessary administration support has been extended to Elijah to facilitate their registration via the Jamaica Single Window for Trade platform to ensure a smooth application process for import permits for the buses. Now, Darrell Vaz, I told you to get a lawyer. Prepare your lawyer, man. Get your lawyer. Now, Darrell Vaz, you knew it was 110 old buses. But you try to trick the system because you want to avoid inspection. Mighty God of Daniel. You, Darrell Vaz and Andrew Holness, knew very well that these are all buses. But you, Danville Walker, Andrew Holness, and of course the permanent secretary, eat the food, eat a big food as it relates to illegal campaign financing, using taxpayers' money to do that. Now, let me show the people evidence here. Take that away, honey. You think we start beating yet? Let me go in into the investigation piece. Honey, did you put up the investigation piece? Okay. Honey, show Jamaica what we are talking about as it relates to the investigation piece. Come, Jamaica, I want you to follow me tonight. Let us go to investigation 1. Put up investigation 1. Let Jamaica know that Darrell Vaz and Andrew Holness committed the crime. Investigation 1, yes. And please, you extend it to 200 so that they can see it. You come, Darrell Vaz, let me warn you, and I tell us if you get your lawyer. Okay, so the people must see it. Here it is. In Jamaica, ministers of parliament are prohibited, not allowed. Let me read it over. In Jamaica, ministers of parliament are not allowed, prohibited by law from signing contracts or approving payments, and thus cannot formally approve procurement without what? The oversight of the Public Procurement Commission.
But he gets with it in the Ministry of Education. That's why I come and repeat it again, Andrew Holness.
Exactly.
And he get with it for the IC when they did not charge him.
Exactly. So you know of this law. And you, Darrell Vaz, openly break this law. I tell you, Darrell Vaz, get your lawyer. Here it is, Jamaica. Let me show you. Right? In Jamaica, ministers of parliament are prohibited by law from signing contracts or approving payments, and thus cannot formally approve procurement without the oversight of the Public Procurement Commission. And this is exactly what Darrell Vaz did. Relevant committees. Ministerial involvement is strongly discouraged to prevent conflict of interest. Now, let us go through the key procurement rules in Jamaica. The approval hierarchy, contracts over 60 million to 100 million require approval from the Public Procurement Commission. You circumvent, you and Andrew Owners circumvent and then tricking the people by trying to say that you're having meeting with them seeking approval when you have already approved it. That's how devious you and Andrew Owners are. You and Andrew Owners are. You and Andrew Owners have already approved it and then seeking approval, right, from the Public Procurement Commission. Right? Here it is. Approval hierarchy. Contracts over 60 million to 100 million require approval from the Public Procurement Commission. And contracts over 100 million require cabinet approval in addition to the PPC and the head of the entity. So Darrell Vaz, as it relates to the $1.4 billion, the permanent secretary in your ministry have to sign off on it. The cabinet secretary have to sign off on it. And most importantly, the Public Procurement Committee has to approve it. Now, prohibition of direct approval. Ministers cannot override the procurement process. Darrell Vaz, you hear this? Me tell you, Darrell Vaz, get a lawyer. Me know you don't know long argument with you. Me a melting pot, you don't know long argument with you. Me only say when you run over Big Mama, you chat up your mouth over Big Mama. Well, Mystic Sensation, I tell you tonight. Forget a liar, sir. Prepare your liar. Because trust me, you have to face this. And we are going to deal with this. And either the DPP is going to show that she is the DPP for Jamaica, or she is going to show Jamaica that she is the DPP for Andrew Owners. The Commissioner of Police and Mocha, either they are going to show Jamaica that they are the the police, Andrew Owners police, or they are doing policing for Jamaica. Now, prohibition of direct approval, ministries cannot override the procurement process, cannot. And any direct unauthorized influence is a breach. Darrell Vaz, me tell you something, get a liar now. The new requirement 2025, our procurement now requires a commencement of certificate. Take it away. Let me ask you a question, Darrell Vaz. Did you get the certificate from the procurement, the Public Procurement Committee? Did you get that? Before you sign off on contract, circumventing the procurement, the public procurement. Now, Jamaica, this is where, let me reveal the next document.
Oh,
take it away, honey.
I took over. This is part 2.
Okay, all right. So let's read part 2. So let them hear. Yeah, look at the same thing. Yeah, because we cover that. All right. Before I get to the next document and show Jamaica, this is where, Darrell Vaz, you totally in dark clouds. As a matter of fact, you are in the abyss when me done with it tonight. Now, Darrell Vaz, come in front of the class. $1.4 billion is spending. And now that we have the Auditor General, you are in problem. And don't ask me, I ask you that. You and Andrew Owners in problem. Now, Darrell Vaz, let me ask you. I heard you taunting that 20 more buses, right, came on the island. Let me speak to the Auditor General. Right? And I don't have to speak to the Auditor General because they are going to do it. So you, Darrell Vaz, said publicly. Let me remind what you said, because we know that this is going to hang around your neck very shortly. You said that 80 buses are on the island. An audit is going to be carried out, Darrell Vaz. And you're going to have to show those 80 buses. Now let me talk to you, Darrell Vaz. That 20 additional bus that you said came in, you have to also present the invoice for those 20 buses. Yes, Darrell Vaz, you don't know that, hold on, Darrell Vaz. You think you're going to talk about 20 additional buses came in and we just accept that? No, Darrell Vaz, I don't say it were. I don't say it were. You're going to be audited. You have to present the 80 buses. And you have to present the invoice for the additional 20 because you have brought in 60. Now, Jamaica, of the 1.4 billion, let me show you how much money already spent. Darrell Vaz, you ain't a problem, you know. And I ask you, Darrell Vaz. Dark cloud hang over your head, you know. But tell you, say, get a liar, Darrell Vaz. Honey, dig up that document. Let us show Jamaica how much him claims him spend. That I lied to, you know. Jamaica, me said that I lied to. The invoice that I'm going to show you, that I lied to. No, big it up, honey. Let us show this, Jamaica. Let us show the invoices. Now, Jamaica, let me talk to you before we get down into the invoices. Darrell Vaz and Andrew Wallace believe that they are smart. Trick the system in saying that it is 110 new buses. Why? They mention 110 new buses. Because when the buses are new, they are going to avoid the rigorous inspection. So in order to do that, Darrell Vaz and Andrew Wallace trick the system and say it is 110 new buses while these are old buses. Jamaican people, some of these buses are as old as 15 years. Now here's the receipt, the so-called invoice. Let me say that. Because what you are seeing here, right? Again, Darrell Vaz. Let me say this to you now before investigation done in Darrell Vaz. This again here, so as it relates to this invoice. When investigation conducted in Darrell Vaz, and this work out to be of the contrary, Darrell Vaz, this is going to be fraud. Darrell Vaz, you hear me? Darrell Vaz, let me warn you of Darrell Vaz. Me tell you something, get a liar. All of this as it relates to the invoice that you have as Treasury, showing this invoice, right? We know so the buses don't cost that much. But anyway, we are going to take this invoice for tonight because this is the invoice that you have in the system. So Darrell Vaz, as I said, investigation is going to Darrell Vaz, trust me, dark days, dark cloud. Me say, get your liar, Darrell Vaz, me I warn you. Now, here it is. Thomas, as according to the brand of the bus, 18,000 US, $985. All of this are line now, so all bus them now. 10, 15 years. Right? We are United States trying to get these bus out of them systems. Some area just have given them because they are garbage. They are garbage. Rattigan show you where he went and purchased a bus for $1. Rattigan show that evidence, See the total here, people. $424, right? $1 million. See there? So then, Darrell Vaz, where are the invoice for the rest of the money? This is what we have. See the Darrell Vaz commercial invoice. See the evidence here. And see the amount been spent. $424,885,027. Darrell Vaz and Andrew Wallace, both of you did it. Where is the taxpayers' money? What did you do with it? We are asking the DPP to investigate Andrew Wallace and Darrell Vaz for illegal campaigning. It is unconstitutional that you use taxpayers' money by fraudulent means to put into your campaign and wish some of the money again that you guys have converted to your personal use. Take that document away. Darrell Vaz, it no pretty for you. So Big Mama and NNN, right? Before you entertain Darrell Vaz over NNN, speak to us now. Make us send us some of the evidence. Speak to us. Make me send you some of the evidence that we have over here. And so, as I said, Darrell Vaz, prepare your lawyer. What say you, melting pot, on the project?
Well, this is a massive investigation. Yeah? And this will lead Darrell Vaz and Andrew Criminal Wallace into the prison house. The fraud. And I mean, you know, the way the fraud system is that the fraud is in a way where them bypass all the procurement that they know they're supposed to obtain. You can imagine the man them now claiming that them into a meeting trying to get procurement, but already the signing off has been done.
Criminals.
Criminal. And we are talking about criminal of the highest order. I mean, using the force that they think they have, but they don't have any force, you know. No. Because where things have to be done and the balance of transparency, it has to be done. You can't use the might of a guy who is a so-called prime minister, a criminal who is in charge of so many ministries as it relates to Darrell Vaz, and then bypass procurement. Yeah. Gone past all cabinet guidelines. The vast sum of the money, 1.4 billion, cabinet secretary operate of that. You understand? The permanent secretary them have to involve as well. Because that is the procurement guideline. And so, yeah, a guy who's a wannabe prime minister who don't know they must uphold the status of his office and how government procurement is set about. You know, it shows how devious these two men are to the Jamaican taxpayers. That they will stop at no length and breadth to do their dirty criminal activities and then come and sell garbage to the Jamaican people. But I listened to him and give the interview to Draws Davis and him all over the shop. All over. He can't even answer the question from him counterpart. I remember Draws Davis and them counterpart, you know. And Vaz, a stutter Vaz, can't answer the question. Because Vaz knows him a lie through all him teeth. You understand? And this is where Jamaican people now become disgruntled with the whole state of affairs. Because here it is, you know, the country broke already, you know. And because you want to steal an election, you know, you come up with a fake order. So now go buy 110 new buses. The 110 old buses come in and may I tell Jamaican people, them get them for nothing. Even that invoice where Serbia show, a bogus invoice that. The reality, them get the bus them for nothing. Right? is trying to sell the narrative that him bring in 110 new buses. And when we take him on round here, so, and we are the only platform we take him on, you know, a man in the wilderness, you know. Well, you know, we are the Titans. When the Titans take him on, you know, and pressure him, you know, him double down and say, well, they're all buses. You understand? No. As so much breach, man, they make, you know, cause if we know our all buses, not if, them are all buses. They're not supposed to go through without being tested, you know. So here when the fraud commit again now. Yeah, you see Elijah in a shit pit too, you know. Cause them name a call up in a too much fraudulent affairs with these buses. No Elijah now, yeah, and them have the importation and things like that. And them get that. But here is where Elijah now falsified register using J Swift, claiming that the bus them knew between Elijah and J Swift, them fraud the taxpayers' money again and fraud the system by claiming that these buses are new buses and didn't go through the rigorous inspection test. Yeah, so them just come through the net. You know, a big hole in the net and them come through. Yeah, now Elijah and Joseph and Danville Walker will have a lot to answer to in this criminal case. Because this is a criminal case, you know. Danville Walker, you know when you start your title and beat it, you know, you denounce yourself. Why did you denounce yourself? But here on May the 27th, 2025, you in a re-permission letter to import 100 buses, you sign up on that, yeah, to import 110 new buses, you know. And you grant the license to Elijah. You do that, you know, Danville, so you can't wiggle out your way out it, you know. No, you can't wiggle out your way out it. And this guy, Darrell Vard, are going too much for too long. I feel like I'm a lieutenant, you know, the General Andrew, you know, and him a lieutenant. Yeah, two of them are the two biggest criminals in our House of Parliament. Two of them have the most ministry. People need to check that. Yeah. Aside Andrew Holness, the garbage, Darrell Pumvaz, have four other ministry him alone a preside over. Because the two of them are the two biggest criminals, as me tell you now. You understand? And we now go sit back and allow this case of a rumble on. So as my co-host, you know, Lord Byron said, we want to see what type of DPP we have. Because if you look at Ireland, we have too much problem with DPP in a recent time, you know. The DPP, them fall under controversial scrutiny. So we want to see now. We want also to see what type of commissioner of police we have now. We have problem with that in the longest while. Seems like we can't get a solid commissioner of police. Come like every commissioner of police coming in at the place. Them get butt up on them hand right away. You understand? So we want to see that now. Yeah, because here it is now, you know, this cut and dry in front of you know. And I like you don't know from day one, so this is an open cut and dry case. Because from your breach of procurement guideline, you forgot prison Darrell Pumbaz, yeah, Andrew, nasty holiness. Yeah, you don't forgot prison for that. Yeah, the cabinet secretary, Arja Suel, she forgot prison too. And she have facilitate all of these wrongdoing. That's why Andrew put her there, upgrade her from permanent secretary. And you know our long-standing history, she and her daddy. We go on. Yeah? You understand? With the McGregor housing scheme up here. So you know everything bad for them people, you know, from long time, you know. But we all know Andrew the criminals, them always endorse criminal and love to have criminal around him. Because remember him Pumbaz a criminal from them eye down there, so you know. Yeah? And them been doing this thing and getting away with it. And we ask the question why. So now we want to see what type of DPP we have sitting there in the office collecting taxpayers' money. Because you can't spare no boy in this now in a DPP. Commissioner, you know, we see you lay ground already and broke ground recently, you know. Where you go for Wayne Cameron, you know. Yeah? So we know you have the power. So we want to see how you exercise it now against these two criminals. Well, a matter of fact, three criminals, because you have to put charges to well in it. The size of the money she have to know about it is a must. Because remember, contract of 60 million to 100 million require approval from the Public Procurement Commission. And contract over 100 million required cabinet approval, which is ours as well. In addition to PPC, and the head of entity. So, me want to now get round that. You see them skullduggery where Andrea go with, as I earlier heard my sister in action, Lady Anne-Marie mentioned. Andrea do this from Ministry of Education. And him been getting away with these things. And he has been so canny and witty within him little nasty shitty head space where him have that him think him can, carry on these type of illegal activity throughout him political career. Because, them let him have a big case when he go to prison long time, Where you see him come back to the place and crowd the airport and sing Don't You Trouble Zion and him all participate. That was pre-planned and pre-arranged. This is how nasty this guy is, this wannabe prime minister where we have in the place for the past decade. This old vagabond of criminal. You understand? Utilizing the political office to carry out lots of criminal activity for self-benefits. You understand? And we have to put an end to it. You understand? This is why we take it as interest to make sure we do the levels of investigation that has been done to present on the program so people can get the narrative, from right round here. Because down in Jamaica, nothing has been shed out in the public domain, through the media, Because the media, them work with the sponsor. Who is the sponsor? The Labour Party. You understand? So when it comes to real information coming out of the local media in Jamaica, that is not forthcoming. You understand? Them suppress that. Protect this nasty piece of shit, garbage, criminal Andrew Holness way in the place. A muggle like a prime minister. Melting pot tell the world, so prime minister material long time. And surplus the requirement. Because you have the country in your hand, And all you do, rob the country and you're not supreme pumbas. Have some little garbage that come out and tell live phone through the media. Like NNN them. And Emily Shield round there, so the whole of them contrive to tell it lie to protect this criminal government, this kleptocratic government. You understand? And we have to bring that to an end, Because at the end of the day, our taxpayers' money, them are rob and are well to themselves. But we already have paid them a high salary, one of the highest in the third world, in the third world fraternity, and certainly one of the highest in CARICOM. Because remember, Jamaica is still a third world country, And I know African leaders, them now get the money where Andrew Holness get, and them cabinet member them down there. So they have been well rewarded with lucrative salary package. But these people continue to steal because it's in their mode of operandi that they always have to steal. That's how they operate. And they can't speak to the love of God that the people are suffering. And you are stealing from the suffering people. It's like a madman lay down on the road and you see with a $1,000 bill. Where a good Samaritan just pass and give. And you, the well-dressed individual, go there and steal the madman $1,000 bill. This is how the nasty kleptocratic government operates in Jamaica. Stealing from the poor. Suppressing the poor. Using means like this. Garbage. This means the garbage. These are old buses, everybody know. United States want to get rid of them. Them decommissioned. Them gone over a decade. Some of them a decade and a half. Them pass the mileage upon the clock. And look on a garbage like nasty pumbas, a criminal like pumbas. We from them by their name and commit criminal activity. I come tell we send pay them amount of money. 424,885,27. Pumbas, then even that. Yeah, we round up that to be 1.4 billion. That is still not 1.4 billion. But we know you're not paying up like the sweet either. Yeah, so the sensitive nature where you find yourself into right now, is that you have been committing fraud. You're on the garbage. You're on the garbage and the world is a commit fraud. We hear no make mention about these buses a while in a parliament, but we never know how to carry it out to blatant and in such a malicious and vicious way against the taxpayers. But we know when we no time it for the general election. Cause we know about the bus them, you know. And then we're not gonna use them now blindfold Jamaican taxpayers like when we bring in bus. As a matter of fact, we never want these buses coming our place either. Yeah, because people are get rid of them because of the carbon emission. So Jamaican people now have to conscious of this, you know. These buses were decommissioned because of the carbon emission coming from them. It was caused very toxic pollution to passenger life and people. You understand? But this is the same garbage, this nastiness spring coming at the place. Come killing off up in Portland and around them illiterate places there. Yeah? And we see them coming at school buses as well, him say. But we see them on Campbell Trail run up and down with flag outside of them and labor right pull up in them. This is injustice to the taxpayers. And this is a controversy that has bring Jamaican to the attention worldwide. Because people listen to our program and people know so them bus are give way. And when people hear Jamaican minister in charge of transport, go take up 424 million US to them little nastiness bus here when bring come in. People are laugh after Jamaica know say that banana republic state that fail. The banana republic state that fail again, you know. Can't administrate. And you know, so when you talk about banana republic state, you don't know it the way down there, so not qualify. But even that, at a lower level of governance, now banana republic state, them fail again with something like this. So we now have a call upon the DPP, show your true colors. We have a call upon the commissioner of police, show your true colors. We have a call upon the people like Mocha now for going and the auditor general. Well, we know them are cover them things right now. So while we are looking now is the outcome. But we say, as we Byron said, Darrell Vaz, get a liar. Nasty Andrew Wallace, you need one too. Danville Walker, Arjit Sewell, Elijah, the whole of J. Smith, you don't need liar. Not on the Pumvas. All who is implicated in this report need liars. Because certainly every one of you guys know that it was a fraud. That's going to carefully orchestrated and executed. You understand? And where we find these two men trying to get PPC account committee to ratify when they already about sign off on May the 27th. And the 30th of May, now we still want going a meeting. Yeah? May the 30th, meeting between PPC and ministry. Yeah? The ministry submit its additional document for consideration. What a load of bollocks. The government trick all the system. So it shows so they have no regard for the authorities that is placed to oversee things in Jamaica. Mighty God. Yeah, Darrell Vaz and Wellness has already approved the $1.4 billion, even though they must seek meeting between them and the PPC. Yeah, that is fraud again, you know. That exactly. Is fraud of the highest order. And May the 22nd, 2025, PPC, yeah, I do them inquiry. Yeah, all right. 14 to the 15th, see May 2025, the PPC submission, the recommendation. Yeah. You see what I said? And all these were going on, trying to shape the background to carry out the procurement, while the procurement was already signed off by Vaz, Andrew Wellness, and Arjit Sewell. Those are the three main culprits. You don't have to look no further. When all of these little rigmarole are shape the thing for going to meeting for approve it, them three garbage they sign off on it already. Approve of it.
Criminal.
So they are criminals. Yeah. So right there and then, my brother, we just are waiting to see the outcome now. We want to see what type of DPP we have now and what type of commissioner of police we have now. Because It's a cut and dry, brother. This a meat and drink. It's coming like you send duck in a water. You don't need no long drawn out deliberation. Just charge them nastiness and put them away.
All right. All right. Blessings. Before we go any further, because we have some serious information to proceed as it relates to, yes, call Sister Winnie. Sister Winnie, we are calling about because I realized that you were calling me, right? Sister Winnie. So let me just call you. I can have a quick conversation with you because tonight hot enough. And we are going to blaze the place tonight. Now, Jamaica people, listen to me. Listen to me. I wonder if you people don't realize that something is proning as it relates to Michael Leachin, right? Falling out with some people in the private sector of Jamaica. And I'm wondering if Michael Leachin and Andrew Holness pulling apart. We are going to get into that because that is very serious, Jamaica. Now, Andrew Holness don't want to go against Michael Leachin. We can't tell him that. Because if Andrew Holness go against Michael Leachin, Andrew Holness must know that that is a political suicide. And not only a political suicide, it is going to be the ripple effect of a lot of things to come. Now, Jamaica, right? Let us proceed. We were actually trying to get Miss Winnie. And what we are going to, Jamaica, listen to me now. Let me say this. What we are going to prove is show you, right? And be glad that Michael Leachin had spoken. So we want to say kudos to you, Michael Leachin, right? We love how you come out and you have spoken out, right? But you should have spoken out long time. Long time. You should have done that long time. And this giving us some signs. What is going on? Because we know, Michael Leachin, that you and Andrew Holness had created the 5 and 4. You understand that you will grow the economy, right, by 5% within 4 years. And we realized that didn't work. You know, it's crushed. However, let us get into this. Let us tune in and listen to Michael Leachin because a lot more to come. Now, let us hear what Michael Leachin has to say. Because Michael Leachin is also speaking about some aggressive taking over, right? What is going on with Michael Leachin and Andrew Holness? Let us get into the meat of the matter. Jamaica, this no look good. And I said, let me warn Andrew Holness before this play. If you go up against Michael Leachin and Andrew Holness, you will commit political suicide. And not only political suicide. Is this the beginning of a break that we are seeing the pull apart that's showing us sign that Andrew Holness is knocking on the prison door? This seems to be that Andrew Holness, right? 1 foot in prison, of course, and 1 foot out. Let us hear what Michael Leachin has to say.
You spoke about the 194 million that NCB alone has paid since 2013 when this came into effect up until now. But my viewers will be watching on and saying, well, you're making millions, billions of dollars in the case of NCB. Why not pay the tax?
Well, we pay enough taxes. NCB is the largest taxpayer in Jamaica. It's not a matter that we don't want to pay the tax or we don't want to pay tax. We pay taxes that are legislated and that should be paid. But in this case, the tax was brought on for 3 years to help after JDX and NDX. And remember, it's not only the asset tax that financial institutions are paid or are paying to contribute to the revitalization of Jamaica. Because remember, for JDX and NDX, financial institutions took a cut in the bond interest that we the interest on the bond portfolio that we had in the case of NCB and all financial institutions, we took we took a cut of over 12% from a 22% bond or 24% bond to 12% voluntarily to help the Jamaican economy to recover. Right. Secondly, the asset tax came in, but also there was a tax on dividend of 15%. Thirdly, financial institutions pay an incremental amount of taxes of corporately 33% versus everybody else 25%. So it's not that we don't want to pay taxes, but the financial services industry is a fat target to be taxed. And there's a problem because whenever we raise taxes in Jamaica, we make Jamaica less competitive globally because taxation is a globally competitive variable.
All right. Take that away, honey. Now, Jamaica, what Michael Leachin had done publicly is to throw the entire Jamaica Labour Party administration right under the bus. In all of what Michael Leachin is saying, let us pick the important points. Michael Leachin is saying that it's the People's National Party who revitalize the economy, not Andrew Holness. That is what Michael Leachin is saying. That the asset tax was provided, right, and where all of them volunteer to take a cut as it relates to the bond cut from 24 to 12%. To do what? Revitalize the economy. You hear that from Michael Leachin. And that it is the Portia Simpson administration had done that as a result of the falling of the economy as it relates to Bruce Golding led administration. Tonight I have the facts. And I am so happy that, I am going to share it with all of you. As it relates to the IMF case study, I really very happy that Michael Leachin came out and spoke a direct slap in the face of Andrew Holness administration, saying to them that the bragging about the economy that you are bragging, right? You are not the one who take the economy from out of the abyss and revitalize it. That is what Michael Leachin stated. Let us further cement that as it relates to what Lambert said. And I am going to show you evidence, strong evidence. Jamaica, stay tuned with us. I am happy. But why now? Why? Why Michael Leachin seems to be going against the Andrew Holness administration, although he's speaking the truth, 100%. But this is something that we would like to hear long ago. If Michael Leachin had come out with this prior to the September 3 election, it would serve us more political mileage and bring forth such truthfulness that was long waiting for. Again, thank you, Michael Leachin, for the strength you have, the braveness to come out and tell Jamaica that it is the People's National Party who revitalize the economy. NNN, take an interview with Michael Leachin. I think you ought to do that. Take an interview with Michael Leachin. Michael Leachin is speaking 100% truthfulness. Now we are seeing where Andrew Holness lack the innovation, lack the skill, lack the brain power as it relates to his administration to build the economy. And as opposed, what he has done is to use PR, lies. Speaking about poverty reduced from 18% to 7.5%, pure lies. Pure lies. And so then we're glad that we have a Michael Leachin now speaking the truth. But go further. Let us get into what Lambert had said. MMN, NNN, don't like what Michael Leachin said. Because NNN know that it is a kick into Andrew Only's stomach that he truly deserves. A deceitful person, a liar, and a scammer. Now, let us hear Lambert, what Lambert has to say. Once again, Michael Leachin, thank you for that.
Senator Anderson just showed their phone and said the front bench is likely to be changed. Nationwide is reporting that the front bench is likely to be changed because the cabinet reshuffling is being finalized. But that's for another time. As I rise to address both bills before us,
I like that.
I am tempted to read from the Jamaica Observer, a favorite newspaper of that time, of an article on October 15, 2025. And the first paragraph says, JMMB Group Chief Executive Officer Keith Duncan is reiterating his push for the government to abolish the asset tax, which continue to negatively impact entities in the financial sector. The reality is, the asset tax came at a particular time in the country's history. And there are some other measures which came at a particular time. The truth be told, in 2011, nobody in the world wanted to deal with Jamaica. The thing in Washington was, let Jamaica fail. In fact, the IMF managing director came to Jamaica and said, the talk was, has Jamaica failed yet? Because nobody wanted to help us. Until a delegation on Christmas Eve of the Black Caucus went across to the IMF and said, you must help Jamaica. And that's the context in which the asset tax came into being. That the private sector supported it then.
All right.
And the government...
Stop right here, because I'm not going to take too much time. That the asset tax came into being to solve the economy as a result of what Bruce Golding had done, the damage to the economy. The economy was facing the abyss. And so then, as it relates to austerity measures, right, Portia Simpson installed the asset tax for 3 years, right, to stimulate the economy and also using, right, money from the NHT, right, to also put into the budget to support the budget. However, Andrew Only, who lack innovation, right, has no plan to build the economy, has no strategy as it relates to improve in manufacturing, right, and where we can increase in export and reduce our import, has no plans like that. Nothing like that. And so we continue to linger, draw down on NHT 11.4 billion because he has no plan, no mandate. Doesn't know what to do, doesn't know how to stimulate the economy, doesn't know how to build the economy. Right? PR, facade. Tonight I have the evidence from the IMF case study. The evidence from the IMF case study. The IMF is going to speak to Jamaica, telling Jamaica that Portia Simpson administration revitalized the economy. And today we have the evidence to show. And I am happy that now we have Michael Leachin. Seems to be coming on our side. Thank you, Michael Leachin. Right? And we are going to show the evidence of what Lambert had spoken about. Producer, without any hesitation, let us go to the IMF case study. We ready for them tonight. Here it is, Jamaica, the IMF case study. So for all those from the Jamaica Labour Party who are selling their lies, their deceit, yeah, we have the IMF case study that is going to speak the truth. Discover the context of the asset tax, cover the context, right, as it relates to how Portia Simpson, the PNP administration, has to deal with fiscal discipline, and they are the architect of fiscal discipline. Once again, we applaud Portia Simpson and Dr. Peter Phillips for what they had done in saving the Jamaica economy, and what we have seen now Andrew Holness is doing now, damaging. Likewise, Bruce Golding, and him, Andrew Holness, was in Bruce Golding's cabinet when Bruce Golding flatlined the economy. Now, this is the truth. This is the evidence. The International Monetary Fund, IMF lending case study. Let us read and tell Jamaican people the history. We have it around here. Now, May 2019, after gaining independence, and I love how they curl the history from way back, telling you how powerful the People's National Party is. After gaining independence in 1962, Jamaica enjoyed strong economic growth and achieved middle income status quickly. 3 decades later, income started to plateau, including following a massive financial crisis in the 1990s and a further setback after the 2008 global financial crisis. Challenges have ranged from policy missteps that led to high public debt to vulnerability to natural disaster, if you notice what they're talking about as it relates to 2008 global financial crisis, right? Now, challenges have ranged from policy missteps that led to high public debt to vulnerability to natural disaster. Let me speak right there so that people can follow me and understand. Now, Edward Seaga, right, as it relates to Edward Seaga, right, served in the parliament carrying all 60 seats in 1980. Right, all the seats in 1980. Between 1980 to 88 to 89, Seaga single-handedly damaged the economy. When Michael Manley handed over the economy to Edward Seaga, the debt per GDP ratio was roughly about 63 to 64%. After Seaga took it over from Michael Manley from 1980 to 89, and particularly 1983 to 89, Seaga had brought the debt per GDP ratio to over 270 odd. Now, look at the dilemma that faced Jamaica. Challenges have ranged from policy misstep that led to high public debt, to vulnerability to natural disaster, immigration and brain drain, and high crime. By 2013, people who listen, get to the people, tune in. By 2013, Jamaica public debt had reached a historic high of about 147% of GDP, making it one of the most indebted countries in the world. Stop, Jamaica. Stop right here, so. Where the full stop is, let us begin that sentence. May I talk to you tonight, Jamaica. Bruce Golding, the government for Jamaica, from 2007 to 2011, damaged the economy. When Portia Simpson won in 2012, here's the evidence, people. By 2013, Jamaica, listen to me tonight. By 2013, Jamaica public debt had reached a historic high of about 147% of GDP, making it one of the most indebted countries in the world. Jamaica, you see what Portia Simpson has to take over? You see what Portia Simpson had to take over? You see the burden that fell on Portia Simpson's shoulder, the first female prime minister that carried more balls than the men. Portia Simpson have to deal with a debt per GDP ratio 147%. No one want to see that enough. Now, watch this now. Under the subheading Program Ownership and Design. Now look at this now, Jamaica. Come now. This is the history coming out of IMF. After a debt exchange in 2010 under Bruce Golding, and yet another IMF supported program that went off track, and yet another IMF supported program. So you know that it is more than one IMF program that they have failed. This is the evidence, you know. That's why you have to come. You understand? Whether they are mystic sensation, you get the truth and you get the lesson. This is telling you that Jamaica Labour Party had failed. More than one IMF program. Let us read that. You understand? For better understanding. After a debt exchange in 2010, and yet another IMF supported program that went off track, failed. Now in 2011, what happened in 2011? Who was the prime minister in 2011? A lot of people don't remember. Andrew Michael Holness. Let us ask a question. Who was the prime minister in 2011? Andrew Michael Holness. Also, the Minister of Business in Bruce Golding cabinet between 2007 to 2010. Now, let us read that over. After a debt exchange in 2010 and yet another IMF supported program that went off track in 2011, while Andrew Holness was the prime minister, the country was on the verge of an economic meltdown under Andrew Holness. Because Bruce Golding, as a result of what happened with Dudus and the whole shenanigans and bangarang and criminality and United States as it relates to extradition for Dudus and the whole mix up and rare blah blah blah, Bruce Golding had to force to resign. You understand? Because United States out send him to prison. And he had to force to resign, right, to avoid prison. So this is telling you the state of the economy. Here it is, Jamaica, because no for not learn, you know. No for follow Andrew Holness and him lie. A lot of you, just because Andrew Holness come out and him talk on him campaign, tell him pay lie and pay shit coming out of his mouth and pay PR. This is the IMF. And I'm here say it. IMF I say it. See it here in plain sight. Let me read it over. Come here, I have to repeat it. I want to repeat it for you to get it. After that exchange in 2010, and yet another IMF supported program that went off track. In 2011, under Andrew Holness, the country was on the verge of an economic meltdown. Andrew Holness not talking none of that. Not speaking none of that. Look at the status of Jamaica. With no access to international capital market. None whatsoever. No access. IMF lock him off. World Bank lock him off. Everybody lock them off. See that? With no access to international capital markets. I know me say this. I know Melting Pot say this. And the IMF saying this. Let me talk now about PNP. Jamaica once again turned to the IMF in spring 2013. Who is this? Portia Simpson. Portia Simpson. Because Bruce Golding and Andrew Holness fell out of grace with the IMF and they got totally locked off from all international capital market. Locked off. Jamaica once again, as it relates to Portia Simpson and Peter Phillips, turned to the IMF in spring 2013 for financial support. So all what Lambert is saying, you see, I ring it in this to show you that everything that he had spoken in the Senate is true, 100% true. Now, look at these people. With its preceding weak track record of reform, significant budget financing from international and development partners was less forthcoming because they don't trust, right, the system anymore based on Bruce Golding and Andrew Holness. They don't trust the system. Jamaica needed a second debt exchange and a primary surplus of 7.5% of GDP to help stabilize the economy and address long-standing structural challenges. The public said enough is enough. The Economic Program Oversight Committee was formed so that stakeholders from the private sector, unions, government, academia, and the media could come together to hold the government accountable for its reform commitment. And what? Jamaica, fiscal discipline. Now, Andrew Holness claims him as the father of fiscal discipline. Not liar Andrew Holness, deceitful Andrew Holness, that tell Jamaica say he's the father of fiscal discipline. Eh? See it here? See it here, Jamaica. Portia Simpson, Peter Phillips, fiscal discipline under the reform program. What that as described by Finance Minister, right? Minister Nigel Clark, who spoke about it. What began as an IMF program became Jamaica program with IMF support. The Finance Minister Nigel Clark spoke the truth about it. Right? Under 2013, Portia Simpson extended fund facility and subsequently the 2016 precautionary standby arrangement, which was signed with a new administration. So this is where Andrew Holness coming now. You understand? After them damage the economy. You understand? And signed the precautionary standby arrangement, which was signed with a new administration, the Jamaica authorities, over the past 6 years, with strong capacity building support from international financial institutions and other partners, have made significant progress in stabilizing the economy and improving social outcomes in particular. Take that away. So Jamaica, when we say that it is the People's National Party who had saved Jamaica from the economic abyss, we have the evidence to prove. And as such, the asset tax came in, and as what you heard, Michael Leashin said that they all volunteered. They all volunteered to support it for 3 years. For 3 years. And we had Portia Simpson also use money from the NHT, you understand, to definitely support the budget. So it was not used just willy-nilly, like how Andrew Wallace is using it. Didn't use for that purpose. At the time when Portia Simpson used it to short the budget, Andrew Wallace took her to court. Jamaica, listen to me. Andrew Wallace took her to court. But look what he is doing now. Look what he is doing. Draw down an NHT, right, from 2016 until now. And have 5 more years to draw down on it, damaging the NHT, flatlining the NHT. And see where the business sector is now getting upset with him in saying what the business community is saying, that look, when Portia Simpson used it, it was for 3 years. And they in the business community agreed for it to be used to do what? Revitalize the economy. But what you are doing now, you lack innovation. You lack the know-how. You are damaging the economy because you are dependent. Then hold on. If you were running the country solid and you have a strong economy, why continue with the asset tax? Why continuing with the drawdown on NHT? Why? If your program was excellent, why doing that? Because you damaged the economy. And what damaged the economy? Let us come to full square. What damaged the economy, Andrew Wallace? This is the question that people need to ask. What damaged the economy? What damaged the economy is your high level of criminality, your corruption, your thievery, damaging the healthcare through direct procurement, right? In terms of what we just established as it relates to the boss. Your level of criminality, that is one of the reasons why you did not sign the code of conduct, because you came in to damage, you came in to steal, you're a pirate, you're worse than Henry Morgan. You have robbed the country more than $3.8 trillion unaccounted for under your administration. No other administration in the history of our politics where $3 trillion being unaccounted for. No other administration. It is time that the DPP stop being the DPP for Andrew Wallace. Parallel train you well, Claudette. Stop being the DPP for Andrew Wallace and be the DPP for Jamaica. Andrew Wallace need to be prosecuted. Darrell Vaz need to be prosecuted. It is the history, the long history of the corruption. Premeditated act that needs to be done. The premeditated act that Andrew Wallace executed, and so prosecution needs to be done.
We have more than overwhelming evidence of Andrew Holness circumventing, Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz circumventing the Public Procurement Committee. So, NNN, when you look on this, and you have seen the action of Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz, what say you? But you double down in the criminality. Because, of course, Andrew Holness, as it relates to money laundering, have been evading tax. And likewise, you, NNN, been evading tax. And Andrew Holness allow you to get away with it. And so then you are defending him to the fact that he looks left because he himself is robbing the country of its revenue. And not only robbing the country of its revenue, is stealing every single second that Andrew Holness in power. Andrew Holness is robbing the country. And it is full time that we call a spade a spade. It is full time that we look on Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz and call them for who they are. They are criminals. They are petty criminals. They are petty thieves. They are indeed criminals. AC criminals. And they are to be called out. Not only that they are to be called out, they are to be prosecuted. Let me heal back and bring in Melting Pot. Melting Pot.
Yes, sir, Byron. Well, you know, I used to hear my grandmother say, better late than never. And I like how Michael Leachy, though it's late, but him come out now and he must state the obvious who be did us a long time. You know, Michael Leachy technically tell us say, women did pay the most tax, you know, and he must tell us say, some boys not pay none, like Big Mama, Andrew Holness not paying any, and several more. So he must tell Jamaican people say NCB pay the largest amount of tax in Jamaica.
Yes.
Okay, that is point one. Now make we look at when them take the cut. Yeah. From 20% down to 12% to help Jamaica economy over a 3-year period. Yeah. Now that did have to happen, you know. And a lot of business people came on board. Because where Andrew Holness and Bruce Golding done to Jamaica, when Mama P come in, it's a broken country, a broken economy. A country that have no relationship with money lenders, international money lenders across the world. Everybody reject Jamaica based on the action of Bruce Golding and Andrew Holness. Remember them disregard IMF like IMF and nobody, you know. Fail consecutive quarterly tests. Yeah, and at one point in time, they cut off communication entirely. That if IMF was getting to them and them not responding, cut off communication totally. So when Porter Simpson come into beer now, she had to go there like, you know, a refugee seeking asylum in a country and being pushed back based on the country behavior pattern where she coming from. It's like nobody no want to deal with Jamaica. But anyhow, it take a lot of persuasions, you know, including Congresswoman Maxine Walters and, you know, Peter Phillips, Marky G, the Dede and everything like that. And them work out something. And when they work out something, Jamaica get back a lifeline. But in spite of Jamaica getting back a lifeline, everybody think Jamaica go fail. It was fail all over everybody's lips. Saying them can't come back from this, man. Them are going to fail. But the woodwork of Portia Simpson, Jamaica now becomes a model of proficiency that even IMF was trying to use Jamaica, you know, profile and sell it elsewhere, other third world country. But when we look at the debt, magnitude of debt that them rack up at the time, the year IMF mentioned at the case study, 147% GDP, making Jamaica one of the highest indebted countries in the world. And on top of that, there was no form of fiscal discipline. So when I hear a garbage come out and mention fiscal discipline, I don't want to hear nothing from that piece of shit. He's too ill-disciplined to even mention discipline. Because we know from the outset, Andrew Wall is coming to politics, not to grow or build Jamaica or shape Jamaica, but to rob Jamaica. Yeah, to rob Jamaica. That was his ultimate mode. You understand? To rob Jamaica and wealth himself. I've been telling people this all along. Byron been saying the same thing too. Yeah. So we look at Jamaica now in a state of affair where it needs help. Yeah. And so Busha Simpson went to NHT and borrowed that $11.4 billion to show up the budget to start to stabilize the local economy. Yeah, and to start put life back into the economy. All right. Now when we look at what happened based on the case study from IMF, it I tell you, and this is a May 2019 report. Yeah, that is 3 years into Andrew Holness administration. Yeah, but it go back on its state from 2013, which we know Osha seems to come in that time. Yeah, but after a debt exchange in 2010 and yet another IMF program that went off the track. This is when we are telling say Andrew and Bruce Colin disrespect IMF. I remember, them get a strong red carpet economy from PG, debt free. Them run go back and go borrow the money for God knows what. Because when we see PG I do them time there, PG, we have the debt and I build Jamaica simultaneously. So me want to know where them garbage I run go back to IMF go do. And then take the people the money and hide from them, because that was what the GLP administration was doing, hiding from IMF. And Andrew Holness was a part of it as well. You understand? Now, 2011, the country was on the verge of economy meltdown, with no access to international capital market. Them shook them, man. You're not garbage, you're not criminal. That's what the international money market said to Jamaica at the time. So people must understand that the Labour government has been destroying Jamaica. Here is the blueprint. And it don't come from me or Sir Byron. It come from IMF case studies into Jamaica affair. It tell you right here and then. You understand? Now in 2013, when Jamaica went back to the IMF, there were certain framework that had to be drawn up. Yeah. One such framework was a 7.5% of the GDP. Yeah. That you have to make sure say you take out that 7.5% of the GDP and set aside towards looking after the money lenders such as IMF. Now all of these things now come back now in the crisis time, where Michael Leachin, I tell you where I go on. Michael Leachin, I tell you so them want to take him place now. NCBR for him. And them tell 100% sure him know the people who is after in business. Yeah. Because he might tell you categorically, what happen. But, him hold back on certain things. But he might tell you so them after in business now. And them try everything for the value in business. So if you could buy one black arm share for $1 prior to now, so I'm going to value 50 cents. So them half in business because them want to get it. Yeah. But you see with Michael Leachin now, as a banker, you have to distance yourself from politicians. Politicians will come and, especially a guy like Holness, and come talk to you in a sweet mouth capacity, But they might try the party at the same time. Yeah? Because them know about Michael Leachin problem now as it relates to investors. wanting this vast amount of 490 million for him. Yeah. Well, what Michael Leachin has done for the country, must him expect to get back some help, can help them out in the bad time. But while Michael Leachin in this predicament, Andrew take the 150 million and give to Japan and Korea investment on a GPS. Him not look after the bank where used to look after him, where them cut them thing from 20% to 12% over a 3 year to stabilize the economy. And when Michael Leachin look and see 75 million gone to the church and him not get nothing to stabilize him thing, realize, so well then, the 5 and 4, where them put him at the head up, was take 4 years and destroy him business, and him make 5. Then that go on, man.
Why is
The
the
5
melting
and 4.
pot? Repeat that melting pot. Repeat that.
The 5 and 4, where them have, was that 4 year was to destroy Leachin, and him himself make 5, so that's where you get the 5 and 4. Because plain and simply now that we see the man help them out, the man are one of the highest taxpayers in the country. And him help them out over the 3, him help out Jamaica over the 3 year period. Yeah. Reduce them thing from 20% to 12. Yeah. To show up the economy. I know him in a predicament where he wants some help. I don't know why him fall this, but him want some help. And who him used to help. Now I look on him.
You want to
Them
take
take
over business.
well, him said that. Them take 150 million US and should the entity we control 80% outside of Jamaica, which is GPS. 80% sharehold by Japan and Korea. But the man we born at Jamaica, them bypass him, them not help him to show back him thing. And then what hurt Michael Leachin now is when him see 75 million gone to the church. I remember the church help Jamaica in no way, shape, or form. And then when him look now in business value, the value from $1 to 50 cents, let's put it at that time, say half. So we just use the metric number, $1. You used to get a black share for $1, now you can't sell it for $1. It don't go value 50 cents, because some people after the bank. But I know why they're after the bank. If they have full control of this bank, you know, then them can put the dirty money through it easily.
Yeah.
That's why they want control of NCB, you know. Jamaica people now for wise up to where I go on. I now have to say Andrew that guy will stop people at them back. Because if him can't stop Leachin now him back. Remember when they was see man Leachin down in Israel, you know? So you know, so the relationship is close. But now so Leachin had distant himself from the nastiness that's supposed to tell Jamaican people something. This guy is a conniver. This Andrew Wallace is a piece of destroyer. Him destroy everything. Anything go around Andrew get destroyed. Bolt go around him get destroyed, but we don't want to talk about Bolt. But we just make reference to where people know. Yeah? We see him carry a donkey go get a woman when him should have get a road. The donkey dead in no time. The woman is called the donkey prosperity. Yeah, that dead. Not where Andrew put him on pan no prosper. It cannot prosper because this guy is a criminal. The love of God no. Ascend round this piece of nastiness. A evil ascend round Andrew. Andrew mash up Jamaica and Jamaican people can't see. When you can come and fall out of favor with the leading banker in your country, it is saying something phenomenal is brewing. And I know Michael Leachin will come out with a second episode. And that episode I'm waiting with bated breath for. Because we know this thing I come closer to Andrew, you know. This prison cell door drawing closer, you know. Because remember, banker have certain secrecy where we know about. And if Andrew feel like say him can go up against a Michael Leachin, well, we are telling him about next guest coming because that's where his political career shall die. Because remember Michael Leachin have the secret, you know. With all these vast amount of money, you know, where the GLP traverse through NCB Bank, you know. We all account that take out with zero money, you know. And all the whole heap of SSL money and all the whole heap of scandal money from Cash Plus and whole in tandem thing. Remember with Andrew, you're going in a serious trouble. Just like how you see you're in a serious trouble and pump out with the 1.4 billion. This is another problem for your hand as well. Because you see when criminal launch war upon a society, you know, at some point in time the society have to win. The criminal can't win every day. This guy where everybody has celebrate. This piece of shit. Where I don't think we even certain what kind of DNA him have. We have go around and reap havoc upon the country. Remember your time is dry now. You understand? Your time is dry now. When we look on the vast amount of activity where man size 14 are carry out and below Jamaica, where them get the money from? Well, me can tell you some people. This year Michael Leachin did facilitate them with that. Michael Leachin have the whole of that under wraps. We let out. Him just come scratch the surface, just come make people know say him and the guy ain't in a good relationship anymore. So stay tuned. I have more to come out with. You understand? We know for a fact now, say prison door is dry near to Andrew Walnut. I mean, my brother talk, it's 2026 I go be him demise. 2026 shall be Andrew demise. Him have so much no closing it. Remember I'm about Privy Council with Buchanan. No, you see, wrangling with the man Leachin. No, you know about him and the Auditor General now and Pumbaz with the 1.4 billion. Yeah? So we are going to say once again, we know for a little island we shouldn't have so much controversy with the DPP. And we shouldn't have controversy with the Commissioner of Police. So me I reiterate what Sir Byron said earlier on. We want to see now the true color Claudette Thompson. And people, Claudette Thompson was the beast at the time when Paula Llewellyn had served. Yeah? And you have another beauty where them never like. I think her name was Sarah Campbell, something of that sort. That woman should be the DPP. But because Andrew used, that's why I'm extend Trek 5 time, you know. Use Trek 5 to mentor Claudette Thompson. Yeah? You know we have the same thing. It's a different person, but at the same Trek 5 we have. But Claudette Thompson, we have make sure warn you. You see, if you want to have an evening where you can relax in the future, do the right thing because you're not bigger than prison either, you know. We are going to toss you in a prison. Because it is no secret that the administration is waning under the pressure of corruption and it shall soon be a new administration in Jamaica. And I'm warning people like Claudette Thompson. I'm warning this garbage commissioner we have. We better pull up on the socks and start do the right thing. Because this administration won't be lasting any much longer. And when the table turn on, you will find yourself in a predicament with the new administration. I can guarantee you all that prison will not miss you. And you can't stop prison from missing you then. Because him are going to prison too. So maybe the whole I don't want to bungle up in the whole cell. But, you know, that is the outcome. We're going to reach people where pull off string for Andrew and him corruption. And discuss for everybody. Everybody out there. At one point in time, you know, the Integrity Commission have 34 civil society members for investigation for corruption. Mighty God in a little country like Jamaica. Outside of the politician them, you have 34 civil society members listed on Integrity Commission list for corruption. So I tell you the state of affairs in Jamaica. Yeah? So Jamaican people, I don't know why we don't continue to absorb the antidote of poison from Andrew Wallis' administration. I think it's time we move towards a more consensual agreement where the whole nation come together and get this piece of garbage out. Yeah? And what's the demise of him? Because he need to be disciplined. He need to be taught a lesson. And one lesson you can have for him, you know. Because right now, I see much man I get arrested in the UK, you know, unbelievable. And the man, they have bigger status and nasty, Andrew. Yeah? But the man, they get arrested and calling, questioning, and released and the terms of what? Ongoing investigation. They're going to release them with an agreement of ongoing investigation. And when all is said and done, knowing what the UK is all about, I know people are going to spend prison time. Yeah? No, that need to start take place in Jamaica. We have a guy come from the boys of the ghetto. But it's one thing him bring to the table is criminality. Him not bring nothing to relieve the pressure in the ghetto where I come from, you know. Knowing fully well how ghetto people life shape. Him not come to change that. Him come to endorse himself and size 14 and the two little youth them have. When will never work in a Jamaica to build Jamaica. They will not contribute to our economy. Those two boys is living on the back of taxpayers' money where the dad and the mom steal. So, you know, them now go participate in the work industry. Never in them history. All that to no one. And we not no king and queen in our place. We not no royalty thing in our place. We don't deal with monarchy thing in our place. Then all them two boys, they want to become just come live so. Have a taxpayers' money ever after. Never live a straw. Don't need to live a straw. And this is what it work out to. Remember, we can't live forever, you know. So mother and father have to go them separate ways. Go underground. And pick the retain the wealth. So we have to do something about this. God, this is toxic in the country. You understand? Where the holiness get them breed amount of money from? Well, I want leeching to come talk, you know, because leeching no. Leeching know, because it used to go through film system. Leeching know everything. So Andrew, tell you say you might go and be a downfall. I'm glad how Leeching come out now. And I said the thing where we know a long time. I yield back the floor to you, Sir Byron.
All right, thank you, Melting Pot. Now we are going to get into another serious situation as it relates to FID Director Dennis Strong. This is one of the reasons why we cannot trust, right, Dennis Strong, right, being the liar he is, right? Now, we know that Dennis Strong will do everything in his power to save Andrew Holness. Obviously, he can't. Because of the evidence that he is looking on and realize that there's no room to save Andrew Holness. Let me say that categorically clear. I'm going to play a clip as it relates to him agreed with none other than Horace Chang. Let me speak about this, Jamaica. None other than Horace Chang coming out and attacking Jamaica for Justice. Because the Jamaican for Justice spoke out on the level of brutality, right? As it relates to extrajudicial killing. Let us ask a question, Jamaica. And let me give you the background as it relates to Horace Chang. Horace Chang, Deputy Prime Minister. Horace Chang is the person who is responsible for the St. James constituency. For any people who want to Google the information as it relates to St. James relating to crime, St. James is like the murder capital for Jamaica. Am I lying? No. Just imagine that Horace Chang constituency of all the parishes in Jamaica carry the highest murder rate, and he is the Deputy Prime Minister. He is the Minister of National Security. So obviously, right, that is telling you and defining Orchestra. I am going to let you play, right? And apart from that, before I get into that, WikiLeaks, as it relates to their apex investigator, came out with a cable that Orchestra involved as it relates to drugs transshipment, right? And smuggling of weapons and drugs. So we surprised as it relates to Orchestra coming out and saying that JFJ, right, is in support because of blood money. Come on, Orchestra. You lost your moral faculty. Let us hear what Dennis Strong, who is the head of FID. Listen to what Dennis Strong is saying. This goes to show you that under no circumstances he should have been there. But remember, we are dealing with a kleptocratic government. We are dealing with a banana republic. We are dealing with a prime minister whose simple statutory declaration cannot be certified. Cannot be certified. Let us look and hear what Dennis Strong has to say. Without any delay on it, play that clip. Yes. The last two that I put up. Yes. Let us hear what Dennis Strong has to say. We are going to talk to him after.
Are split on the appropriateness of National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang's verbal attack on Jamaicans for Justice, JFJ, accusing the human rights lobby of living off blood money. Founder and executive director of the Jamaican Association for Debating and Empowerment, JADE, Jermaine Barrett, described the comment as inappropriate. However, Kevin O'Brien Chang defended Dr. Chang's view as wholly representative of the belief of the majority of Jamaicans. Siobhan Campbell tells us more.
The rhetoric surrounding Jamaica's murder rate and the rise in police fatal killings has escalated. In a candid comment speaking with Nationwide News, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang accused JFJ of living off blood money due to its constant criticism of the police force. Jermaine Barrett is questioning the sensibility of Dr. Chang's statements on what is an emotionally charged issue.
I think his comments were unfortunate, inflammatory. I think as there are concerns with respect to how it is that the public is engaging with the issue, and I don't know that the comment does anything to attract a conscientious example of the issue. That much I will say. I think it's necessary that both sides of this debate, this conversation, tone down and be a lot more rational and focus on the shared goal of reducing crime and bringing Jamaica to a state of lawfulness and peace.
The comment did not find favor with JFJ. It says Dr. Chang's framing of its work as living off blood money is unfortunate, untrue, and inflammatory. JFJ says in light of the defamatory nature of the phrase and its potential consequences, it's seeking legal advice on the matter and any possible actions that may be warranted. But public commentator Kevin O'Brien Chang says the group's behavior has warranted the scathing criticism.
I can tell you something. 95% of Jamaicans are with Dr. Chang. What is the greatest human right? The right to stay alive. Then the next statement, that man that cut that throat of the mother and children, he carried on a couple years ago. 5 of them killed. What is the maker for justice argument? What about rehabilitation for this poor young man? Now you tell me, how a group like that is going to good for the country? Or people are going to assume they want good for the country? Are they here to protect innocent people, to try to get justice for those who are not getting justice?
Chang says JFJ should concentrate its efforts on assisting the vulnerable and the few bad eggs within the police rather than the entirety of the force itself.
I'm not against human rights people when they're doing their job properly and being responsible and making the proper statements and seem to be defending innocent citizens. I support it 100%. But they had lost the plot about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Totally went off track. It started when they started wanting to put these illegal things in school about the buggery law and all that. They lost track of keeping innocent Jamaicans fighting justice for them.
However, Barrett argues that JFJ continues to do good for the country, though he says that the lobby group can do more to educate the public as to its activities.
People like my colleague commentator here condemn civil society and ask questions like, do they mean any good for Jamaica? They have secured a lot of good for Jamaica by virtue of the kinds of sort of professional ethos that we're experiencing now from the JFJ. Indicom and the accountability mechanisms have been fought for long and hard by groups like JFJ, and we ought to be grateful to them for that as well.
Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Take that away. Take that away. Now let me speak to you, right? Kevin O'Brien Chung. Your deceit and your lie. And you and Mark Shield and Emily Shield spitting the same venom of deceit. Let me ask you, you said that 95% of Jamaica will agree with Horace Chang as it relates to going against Jamaica for justice, dealing with and identifying extrajudicial killing. Let me ask you a question that I would like you to answer. That is true. Have you done a statistics as it relates to the confidence that Jamaicans have in the police force? You came out and you quoted, right, percentage. This goes to show you the lies that you have been telling. And so then, by any means necessary also, you will protect Andrew Holness. Because if you are coming out and you are telling lies, quoting statistics as it relates to 95% of Jamaica support Horace Chang, it is a lie from the pit of hell. Now, so Dennis Strong and Mark Shields and Emily Shields, if you are watching me, Kevin O'Brien Chung, not Dennis Strong, Kevin O'Brien Chung, if you are watching me, let me give you the real statistics, and this is what Jamaica is going to take and know that you are a liar and you will do everything in your power by any means necessary, you understand, to save a criminal who dealing with money laundering, robbing taxpayers. You, Dennis Strong, will do anything because you came out openly and you lie about the statistics that, not Dennis Strong, lie about a statistics as it relates to Kevin O'Brien Chung. You blatantly lied to the entire world. So let me show you a statistics that going against what you have said. The statistics is telling you that Jamaica for justice is right. The statistics is telling you that they agree with Jamaica for justice. Honey, put up that statistics. Let us read it. And this goes to show you, Dennis Chung, Kevin O'Brien Chung, you need to come down. You need to come down. You need to come down. And this is why I am putting out the evidence to bust your bubbles. You need to come down. Kevin O'Brien Chung, you need to come down. Here it is. Here it is, Kevin O'Brien Chung. You never know, so we have this. You never know, so we have this. We're ready for you, you know. We're ready for you and your lies that you're shaping over Big Mama and your spin machine. Right? Your spin machine. Here it is. The trust deficit and the crisis of confidence in the JCF. Look at it now. Look at it, Kevin O'Brien Chung. The recent Revelations of the Dan Anderson poll. Remember, you know, none of you no police, you know. You are not a police. Right? Former Deputy Commissioner Mark Shield is not a police. Emily Shield is not a police. So listen to what the real police is saying to the public at large and the diaspora. This is what Dan Anderson is saying. The recent revelations of Dan Anderson poll commissioned by the RJR Gleaner in June 2025 present an uncomfortable paradox for Jamaica. Even though official crime statistics show measurable declines in homicide and serious crime, as we don't lie about the statistics, public trust in the Jamaica Constabulary Force remains very low. So then let me ask you a question, O'Brien Chung. Let me ask you a question. You know, run out? And you said 95% of Jamaican people support Horace Strong. Where did you get that from? Liar, old dirty liar. Where did you get that from? Eh? Which statistics that you have done? Eh? Where did you get that from? And let me ask you a question. You have done that statistics less than 2 days? Less than 2 days you have gone out there and done. This goes to show you, you understand your criminal mindset. You cannot be trusted. You have just shown Jamaica that you are an old dirty liar. You have just shown Jamaica that you supporting criminality. You just show Jamaica who you are. Here is the real statistics. This done by Dan Anderson. Right? The survey found that most Jamaicans, 49.6%, were not all confident. You hear that, O'Brien Chung? Kevin O'Brien Chung. You never realized this statistics were was there. And you run come out. 95% of Jamaica agree with Horace Strong. 95% of Jamaica know say Horace Strong a criminal. Know say Horace Strong as it relates to WikiLeaks cable involving gun transshipment and drugs, as according to WikiLeaks table. 95% of Jamaica know that. 26.2% are slightly confident. So you want to add 26 and 49 and so much you get? In the ability of the police to combat crime, however, only 10.2%, 10.2%, Kevin O'Brien said they were very confident. Take that away, honey. Let me talk to you. You come and establish your criminal mind. You lie. So then if you are looking at the public of Jamaica and you came out openly like that and you told a lie like that to deceive the Jamaican public, that 95% of Jamaican people agree with Horace Strong. This goes to show you by any means necessary that you'd have gone to protect Andrew Holness. This is criminal. This is criminal. An open liar. And so then you are not fit to lead. You are not fit to lead. You openly expose yourself. You have no statistics bearing that. Where did you get that from? Where did you get that from? And when did you get it? Within 2 days? Within 2 days? You are able to get that? You're a liar. You are a liar from a pit of hell. And this goes to show you, Jamaica. You understand? Why Andrew only shape you. But you convinced Jamaica tonight. Right, O'Brien Chung? That indeed, your criminal intent, your deceit, and your lie, you have been exposed. Let me yield back and put in melting pot. Pot, come on.
Yes, my brother. Now we have problem with the Manchester boy them in Jamaica, you know. And this guy is one such. Yeah. You have been, referring to him as Chung. He's not Chung, he's Chang. He's Kevin O'Brien Chang. I go and give him bio. Kevin O'Brien Chang, a Kingstonian by birth, grew up in the cool climate.
What on the melting pot? Let me take time to big up Bolo, right? People remember, Bolo are doing some excellent work on Fugova, right? Endorse Bolo, right? More to endorse Atta for the press as well. You understand them people ever, you understand, shining. So please do your endorsement. Big up yourself, Bolo. Sorry about that melting pot. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, no problem, man. Yeah, man. So this guy, Kevin O'Brien Chang, yeah, he's a Kingstonian by birth, but him grew up in the cool climes of Christian and Manchester. He attended Campion College and the Carteret College. This is one of the Manchester boy we have a problem in our country. And them claim that them are the elite, these Manchesterian boys, They are criminals like this one, coming out back in the garbage crab. Yeah, and using some disparative terms that 95% of Jamaican is in agreement with Dr. Crab. You mad piece of shit, Kevin O'Brien Chang. To the 200 Chang, on go man, a criminal. Because here it is now, When the Nazi wounded Crab, we got hiding at the hole when the extradition was landed in Jamaica recently and claims him sick. Lie. Nothing wrong with him. You see him come out and how aggressive him start to operate, attacking JFJ, Jamaica for Justice, and refuting the claims that they are living off blood money. Well, let me tell the people, blood money is something where a corruption money. And you find that amongst political party and their affiliates. Yeah. Now, JFJ is not funded by any political party. It's funded by some reputable bodies, most of them overseas.
Exactly.
Yeah? And you have all the European Union as part of it, Now, this guy, Nazi Crab, in a serious trouble, So, JFJ, you need to file a lawsuit. And I only hope that the donor countries, several of them, have heard this interview, this statement, rather, and applies the penalty that it requires to this piece of nasty shitty crab where we have in the country. When you itch up in a WikiLeaks so long, where we know same deal with blood money, time the money laundering. That in a WikiLeaks. We know same deal with drugs, that in a WikiLeaks. Them they are blood money. So, any blood money we are dealing with, this guy, Dr. Crab, A.K. Horace Chang, can write name a crab in a people. In fictitious name, a Horace Chang. Here, got me a reverse role on this piece of shit, You understand? Remember him can't travel, I remember crab no travel. Unless you bag them up and move them out of them hole and carry them, go put them in the boiling pot. Yeah, so this piece of shit and no standing the attack JFJ. Him don't have no standing, him is a criminal long time. That should be wiped off the map of Jamaica political landscape. But because of the hanky-panky thing we are going to Jamaica, this piece of crab here still remain for crawl out time hole and go back in time hole whenever I'm pleased. And can't go nowhere, crab not travel. Crab do not travel, people. Alright. No. I cannot believe for the love of God when this nasty piece of shit here, when him Kevin O'Brien Chang come out and say that 95% of Jamaican is with Dr. Crab. Nobody know with Dr. Crab. Because when Dr. Crab come out, and a state, is that Jamaica for justice and make mischief with what going on in Jamaica with the unalive in our youths. No, me can't tell this nasty garbage Kevin O'Brien Chang, 95% of Jamaican people is against Dr. Crab, not in favor of Crab. Because if so be the case, you are telling me that 95% of Jamaican is happy with the speed of killing of Jamaican by the Jamaican constabulary force, Is that what you're implying around here, Mr. Nastiness? Eh? So we just rub out that and flip it the other way. 95% of Jamaicans is not in favor with what Rabado and not in favor of the killing we are going to have a country. And 95% of Jamaicans is in support with JFJ, Jamaica for Justice. The only thing, yeah, and we have said this to these agencies, do not sit down in a comfort zone and watch these things unfold over a period of time. Because when you're ready to come out, people are going to say with them and say, no, against Uno. Because you sit down too long and watch you, them are dead, I don't know, I see video footage, Yeah. And me can tell you, say, no people in Jamaica go charged for war crime when the table turn. Me not ask. Benjamin Netanyahu, he go charged for war crime. So if you not follow him, remember you not go follow him right to the egg. Me I tell you that you garbage down in Jamaica. You commissioner and minister of national security and who are run the country, the garbage guy when your man do all this. People are not go fall prey of war crime. Here, because them people are them international community where I donate the money. They have JFJ as their watchdog in Jamaica. They will take action in due course. But JFJ, we don't need to be more vibrant. We don't need to be more outspoken. I don't need to be more hands on deck with what going on in Jamaica. And stop allowing these nasty criminals to carry out their atrocity over a decade now. Here, when you look every year we youth them are dead off. See them go kill Lucian and this over on it there. Garbage go kill Lucian and this. No, me can tell you something about Lucian and this. I want the top man in cup footballer. I walk a cup footballer and play for Charlie Simon. He also play for Arnett Garden. And he make the national football team so the national treasure. Them go kill these garbage where I go around and I use a term called confrontation. No, you can't come to my place and me and you have confrontation. Me in my place humbling and you knock on my door and come to my place. So what kind of confrontation I will lead to my death? So you come and you ask me a question, I must answer you. So maybe you don't like how me answer you, just fire your gun. Whether them thing at Jamaica for justice need to root out. Yeah? These liable slaughtering, what you call statement, where these nasty JCF are put out. Yeah? But them now use gun now and knives in a certain circumstance because we have beat them pan it now. So them stop using 9mm with 8 live round. Them gone to confrontation now. Well, we know confrontation supposed to be a means of collaboration. You talking to me, I speaking back to you. You understand? So this have to come out of the book, And all who go murder Lucian and this thing, we get arrested and charged for the man murder, Lucian and this murder, to go like this. Here, because of the shootout, So, and several more. Ramaro Sterling, Javan Farquharson, bigger than the youth of a St. Thomas. Even the insane man want to kill in a mandible. Want to give him 14 shot. The whole I want to figure out prison for that. So me I want to can't run from Jamaica, Nobody even thinks that you can't run from Jamaica and come overseas. Because we have a dig out. It's easier for we dig out overseas when we come here. You understand? Because we're not going with too much garbage. A back a little nasty administration. Yeah? Where them going to the play field for rob and steal. That's why we turn coke transportants. Yeah, we not transport coke now. We not sell coke like flour. That's why Indy come after this mantle, but it not really gone away. Yeah? It not gone away now. Because them come with that thing named special investigation branch. Man, no go with that, man. No go with that. You understand? This is why everything in Jamaica now fall down, And where it lies, man. Criminality. We see the police them have criminality. We look on this 21-year-old policeman where go around and rob and kill people. And same did in a church, people. The nastiness same did in a church, You can't a church at 21 and you're so evil. That you go and kill businessman at St. Mary. You kill other people. Them find you with gun and how much round the ammunition and money. Now you have all the next young toddler who know where him not in a police force. You know him as a gang member. Where you have around you. That shows you you're tied up in this thing and so the whole JCF is at the moment is a few policemen that can be looked upon as proper policemen. Yeah, and you know we salute Sir Rowan James. Yeah, we salute Clifford Blake. We salute the man there, you know. I would salute many more. Salute man like Wayne Cameron. That anybody you see them attack, you know, are good people. We know them mode of apparatus or them operate. So you see them attack Wayne Cameron, go to, you know, Cameron now deal with them thing. And you now deal with them thing now, you have to move him out of your scene. You have to get him out of the system. You have to ridicule him and mash him up. Because him not with you guys with the criminality and selling cocaine and wearing Rolex value £8 million a hand. Yeah, them people are not in here to do, you know. Yeah, so no go after those good policemen. And we have several more of them out there because we know in life they are good and bad. Yeah, but where the core of the police is concerned, it's an Andrew Holness police force, and they're all criminals. Jamaican people, I can tell you something. Most of these young men were brought in for army training here, and they've never been used as a soldier. They were sent back out, but they learned to fix gun. They learned everything. You understand? Andrew trained them not at Twickenham Park, but within the army at Upper Camp. And it was strange when they were never employed. And just send them back and use it, the system where them have in place. I employ them now as police, but they were trained as military servicemen. Andrew come tell Melting Pot, say I lie, Melting Pot at them. And all the hierarchies behind that training exercise, come tell me, say I lie, me at them. We don't train them as army personnel, send them out back and employ them in the police force. They are criminals, they are Andrew men. You see this guy? This guy, we have to get rid of this guy, you know. We have to wipe out Andrew and his family out of Jamaica. Including the two sons too. No joke about it, my Jamaican people. It's the most vicious family rise up in a Jamaica in a modern time. And we not play with them. The mama are criminal, the daddy are criminal, then we expect the son them to be criminal if we allow them to be. We have to get them out of a place, man. Bring them back to size. Got them on nobody. Them come from the ghetto. And the fastest rising people from the ghetto with wealth. Unbelievable, something spooky is going on. Something spooky and unscrupulous is behind the wall in this them. We have to put a wedge into that. We have to stop that. Yeah? We never have no prime minister, we have him one police force. We have one army personnel. We have him one DPP. We have him one commissioner of police. We have him one this. We have him one that. And all of them farm criminals. All of them add up to criminality. Remember the guy have him one cabinet secretary? And just well. Come on, Jamaica people, man. We have to bring this thing to bear. And the law must take its course now. So we have to reiterate once again. DPP, are you willing to show Jamaican that you are fit and proper for the job as it relates to being the DPP? Go to why you can't change, you know. I tell you take over the reign from Guy Smiley. Stop make Guy Smiley give you order, man. Maybe if you're an administrator for your own, you'd be a better commissioner of police. But we know you take order from Guy Smiley, the uncle. Yeah, where people know to be the former commissioner of police, Owen Ellington. He's a criminal. Yeah, you'd do better on your own than having him advising you as to what to do. So you are not the commissioner. So hear what I tell you to do now. I want commissioner, you know. You need to resign. Because everybody know I know you are the commissioner. Remember we get info, you know, as to what is going on with that job, you know. Remember you take briefing from Andrew and Owen Ellington, so you are not a commissioner of police. You're just a little freak that go around and sleep with married women and break up matrimonial home and wreck vehicle, iron vehicle and tell lie. When a yard drive, you say I know yard drive. We can't trust you. You need to go home. And this is where civil society now we need to take the bull by the hand or by the scruff of the neck and weed out to no criminal out of Jamaica and find and charge enough when miscontempt. Now the report, you lie, or you never drive the vehicle. And you didn't show any human compassion to the other gentleman that you ran into, you could have killed him. You have him lean up and sit down on the sidewalk crossway. You never have him PM scan regard. That show that you don't have any humanity inside of you. Yeah, you were able to walk around and browse around while that poor man sit down on the sidewalk on the opposite side of the road. Close in your eye proximity, and you never pay scant regard to him. This shows say you're not fit for the job as well. Resign, Google too. I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
All right. Now let us step up the program. Right. Now we're talking about the level of wickedness and how uncaring the Andrew Holness government is. And when you look on Andrew Holness and you zoom in on who Andrew Holness is, it shows you that this man has no form of sympathy for the poor people. None whatsoever. Now, what am I talking about? Of course, we are talking about the raise that Andrew Holness had taken, and we are going to speak on it, right? Now, the thing is, right, as it relates to the raise and the retroactive, because obviously, if he was taking the raise, right, then he wouldn't be asking for retroactive. That would be a criminal offense. That would be definitely fraud. Although we can't put nothing past him. But we're only speaking, you know, as it relates to that. So let us show you, right, the greedy and the giving. The difference between him and Mark Golan. Someone, Mark Golan, who is sympathetic, right, who sympathize and empathize. Look at that, people. The greedy keeps 100% of his salary, 29 million, right? And he's getting that with retroactive, right? Has no sympathy, has no empathy. People, what am I saying? Andrew Holness lacks the ability to have natural care. The man is a monster. The man is a crocodile. He's warm. He's cold-blooded. What you're looking at on the left is Andrew Holness. A reptile. Cold-blooded. And what you're looking at on the right, of course, Mark Golan, who sympathize and empathize, understanding what the poor is going through, and decided that, okay, he's going to give away 80% of his salary. Jamaica, let me tell you something. This Andrew Holness is Satan in flesh. Right? Satan in flesh. Believe it. Now, let us go to the other document as we juggle. Now, right? Let us go to the River News. And what is the other one? Yes. Okay, then go to it. Oh, right.
Leader Mark Golding, next Prime Minister of Jamaica, donates 240% plus of his salary to charity.
must lead by example at a time like this. I will therefore redirect the bulk of the 240+% increase in my pay and retain 20% of that increase and contribute the rest to persons in need and other worthy causes.
All right. That is to show you the man of sympathy and the man of empathy. Now, where am I going in Jamaica? I'm going to show you. Let's take that away. Where am I going in Jamaica? Let us roll back the curtain. What is this? Let us roll back the curtain, Jamaica. Here is Andrew Holness to show you how selfish he is and how greedy he is. Here is Andrew Holness, right, decided that, okay, he's going to take unto himself 200% increase. But this is it. In terms of him satisfy himself with that because him believes him deserve it. But here you have Corporal Rowan James, who decided to fight for the true cause of the rank and file police officers. What Andrew Holness had done with him and Kevin Blake is a disgrace. Here is Andrew Holness. Want to explain all the reason as to the reason why him need to get the 200 and 300% raise. But while Corporal Rowan James is fighting for the rank and file police officers, they pursue him and deal with him harshly. I want Jamaica to remember this. And that's why we come out to show Jamaica the viciousness and the wickedness of this reptile. Let us go to this clip, right? To show the effort of what happened with Corporal Rowan James, right? Let us show you what Corporal Rowan James was fighting for. Let us show you, Jamaica, that Corporal Rowan James came out and was fighting for the rank and file police officers. And Andrew Holness said, no, he doesn't deserve it, and they do not deserve it. And so then what Andrew Holness had done was to pay the Commissioner of Police, increase the Commissioner of Police pay, and increase the gazetted officers' pay, but the rank and file police officers suffered. Look at what Corporal Rowan James had fought for. Look at this, Jamaica. Look at it.
Protocols have already been established, and what I'm saying in the interest of time. As we pause today to acknowledge the coming of death and to roll back the curtains to remember our colleague, number 11670, Constable Oliver Mullins, it is with humility that I stand here and to say to the family our sincere condolences on behalf of the rank and file program, and to express gratitude to the family for loaning him to a nation where ingratitude reigns supreme, and there is absolutely no acknowledgement for the autonomy vested to the calling when we assume the roles and responsibilities of policing this country where lawlessness runs unabated. I stand here today on a number of premises to remind the citizenry of Jamaica that the Police Federation will not be muzzled. Cannot be muzzled and will not be intimidated. When we spoke in confidence and in privacy about welfare and well-being, it is because we understand the reality that if you don't take care of the human resources, then naturally those who rely on the services will feel the pinch. I say this against the backdrop that notwithstanding the Police Federation continues to besiege our employer, the government, for resources and proper remuneration, there continue to be a piecemeal approach to national security. Why do I say this? More for proper remuneration. Yes, still the police rank and file who police the largest aspect of our citizenry, welfare continues to be ignored. The backwards approach that is being taken and expecting a champagne residual effect, it cannot happen like that. When the Police Federation speaks of accountability, we know what we are speaking about. Our roles and responsibility entails investigation, unearthing intelligence, and ensuring that it is garnered into evidential values. So those who believe that they can send threat to the Police Federation about lawsuit, about their ineptness, incompetence, they can underscore today that we know what we are talking about, because those funds that continues to be returned to Central Treasury Coffers from the appropriation aid proceeds. We know that it is happening, but yet still, our colleague Constable Oliver Mullins could have been alive today if the government of Jamaica had taken appropriate action to reform.
Speak up, Corporal Ron James, defending the rank and file. And because he said what he said, defending rank and file, Andrew Holness, the Commissioner of Police, the Minister of National Security, kick him to the curb because he shouldn't have spoken. He shouldn't have spoken up about benefits of the rank and file. So you, Andrew Holness, decided that yes, they at the bottom must not get anything. We at the top must enjoy the 200 and 300% raise and benefits. Who dare you to speak up for rank and file? We are going to discipline you because you embarrass us. But Ron James, Corporal Ron James, again came out precisely clear in saying, we are not going to take the crumbs. Let us show that information. Fight back, he fought back and said, we are not going to take the crumbs, Jamaica. We are not going to take the crumbs while you are getting 200 and 300, where you are getting $28 million per year, and your wife, Juliet Holness, is taking home 20 million per year, and in one household, you are taking $50 million for one household in a year, Andrew Holness. That is the truth about the matter. And here it is that, of course, Corporal James pushed back. We are not going to take the crumbs, Corporal James, Police Federation, press for improved compensation packages, but you kick him to the curb. The Jamaica Police Federation and TUSA serve notice that until the government serves up a much improved package, it is not prepared to sign any wage agreement. Up to November, some 15 trade unions had signed on to the new compensation package offered to the public sector workers. But the Jamaica Teachers Association and the Jamaica Police Federation have been holding out for better remuneration. The way you treat the police and acting now that you are defending police. Eh? What a paradox. Acting as if you are defending police, you only pay the top for the top to suppress the rank and file. And you and your ministers taking 200 and 300% increase. You have given Paula Llewellyn 200% increase. You have given Claudia Thompson 200% increase. And so then you can lick down the walls of justice because of what you are doing. You are paying to get around the toll, as what you once said. You have been paying to get around the toll. You dirty, corrupted money. What you are using, right? To sabotage, impede, and malign ordinary citizens. Citizens who meant well. But one day I say to you, Andrew Holness, that your criminal empire bound to fail. Because Father God had found you wanted. Let me take this call. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation Live. Please go ahead. Can you speak up? You're coming in very low. I want the audience to hear you. Yes.
The DPP, I pay attention because I already do the DPP job for the DPP. So
yes.
I hope them verify the thing and just do what they're supposed to do.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yes.
The commissioner himself too, because I mean, I already do the job already. I already do the work.
All right.
So them for just take and verify and do what they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Right.
And we really appreciate it, but Mr. Jamaican people need to wake up, but we need action immediately.
Yes.
And you already do the work. So the question we ask: do we have a DPP in Jamaica? Do we have a commissioner in Jamaica?
Thank you, sir.
Because these are cases that can get done right away because you already put in the work already.
Thank you.
You understand? So we need it. Yeah, man. So keep on listening, Mr. Mystic. So have a good night.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right. As what the caller said, and when we get called like this, right, and that's why we present the evidence. You understand that the DPP can't go around it. The evidence is right there. Take it away on it. Right? The evidence is right there. Right? So what you are going to do, DPP? Deny the evidence that we are showing you. We are showing you that the man, that Darrell Vaz and Andrew Holness circumvent the Public Procurement Committee while they, right, hypocritically went to have meeting with the Public Procurement Committee. They have already signed off. That's criminal. So DPP, you and the Commissioner of Police had pursued. What's the senior superintendent name again, Melting Pot? What's the name of the superintendent?
The senior superintendent.
Yes. Wayne Cameron?
Wayne Cameron.
We have seen you, DPP. So you can't say that you don't have the authority. We have seen you step out of your shell because Wayne Cameron shows affiliation with the People's National Party. So that makes you step out of your shell. And where the Commissioner of Police, you and the Commissioner of Police pursued him and have him charged and put before the court. Let me say something to you, DPP. Let me say something to you, Commissioner of Police. Darrell Vaz and Andrew Holness had done a lot more than the senior superintendent Wayne Cameron. We are talking about billions of dollars and in extension, trillions of dollars that the Auditor General cannot account for. They have done more. So why? Let us put it out there that the person with the lesser crime, you chose to pursue him because of his political affiliation. While Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz, who are robbing the country, mashing up the country, suffering the Jamaican people, billions of dollars, trillions of dollars unaccounted for. You are looking left. Why is it? Why is it? We have seen that they've pursued Corporal Rowan James. Because what? What did he do? Let us speak Jamaica. Let us speak the truth. What did Corporal Rowan James had done more than he spoke the truth and nothing but the truth? What has it said, as it is written, that the truth shall be an offense to those who the truth offended. You've pursued him. But here it is today that you decided to take your salary with retroactive. Taking it retroactive.
After a disaster.
Let me ask you a question, Andrew Holness. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask you this question. Have you heard about Burkina Faso? Have you heard about Ibrahim Traore? Have you heard? As it relates to the sympathy, the empathy, the care of a man who cares for his country. Ibrahim Traore said, I will not take an increase. And I will reduce the salary of ministers, and I will give it to the civil workers. That is conscience. That is a man of moral compass. That is a man who cares. That is a man who shows love. I tell you, Andrew Holness, you're a reptile. Melissa hit us. Hurricane Beryl came and hit us. Melissa came and hit us. And even now you have not said that Jamaica is struggling. It cannot carry the burden of the salary of the politicians. A lot of you vex because I spoke clearly that the politicians must recognize what Jamaica is going through. Can you help Jamaica become resilient by reducing your salary?
It's even to the 100. Take off the 200 and keep
put it to some social programs. Help some of the people who are suffering. Can you do that? But you said, no, I need to wicked to them. I need to crucify them. I need my salary retroactive. So you need them done. You need the people done You need the people totally oblivious. You need the people unaware so you can manipulate them. You can fool them. Because they are not critical thinkers. They are not critical thinkers. Andrew Holness, why? Why, Andrew? Why? What Jamaican people have done you? Why? And I ask Father God, in time like this, Father God, don't forsake your people. Let the judgment be the shield and buckler of the people and fight against these demons that we have. This, the care, the uncare. Mark Golan said, we give them rent to own. Jamaican people said no. And as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. Pilate asked, what do you say? Do you say release Jesus and crucify Barabbas? Or crucify Jesus and release Barabbas? The people said release Barabbas and crucify Jesus. My Jamaican people, this is your indictment that you have to face. And I yield back to Melting Pot to close us out. Melting Pot.
Yes, sir, Byron. And I like how you just shape the last, line of sentence. Where you just go. But encapsulate Barabbas and Jesus. Same thing I go on at Jamaica. They reject Markiji, which is the good man, and Woolam and Barabbas, which is the criminal, which is Andrew. But, going back to Sir Rowan James, and when Sir Rowan James stood up for those men, rank and file men, that he, looked after. And it was merely down to the loss of a policeman who was unequipped. As it related, he wasn't wearing a proper bulletproof vest. So Corporal Rowan James was just emphasizing the fact that this gentleman could be alive if he had been given the proper tool to work. And, as you could see, the outcome, that it never sit well with the criminal government, Andrew Wallace, and at the time, Bugogaga Anderson was the commissioner of police. And we have the dead crab there, sit alongside of them same way. And them formulate a plan and put the man on indictment and carry out all type of ulabaloo against this good policeman we have. So it show you that Jamaica administration, which is the Labour government, doesn't want anything good in a society. Where good is concerned, they are not in favor of that. That will spoil their apple cart. You understand? They want to have everything corrupted and running underground. Like how you say underground mafia operate. And so we left in this problem. Now you see them come back and them attack several good people in the force. Because them want the force to be corrupt. Because the force is always the backbone of a dictator, When it comes to army and police, any dictator where you see last over a period of time, them have to have those two personnel on their side. And we know that is happening in Jamaica right now as we speak. Yeah. We know the DPP is corrupted. This beast. DPP, you see her big like bicycle. She's the beast. She's very corrupted. And she's aligned to the Andrew Wellness administration. Because remember, she has already got her increase in salary package long time, and to top up the whole of them, Yeah, because this guy feel like him can play a chess game better than anybody else. Well, me know at some point in time, if he's not a good chess player, board can deteriorate. And the board, chessboard, are deteriorate right now around him. Yeah, him can't get out at 2026. 2026 will be Andrew Wallace's demise. Yeah, because, 1 decade since the man take the reign and the man mash up the place, rubbish the place. Yeah, where in our society now we have seen where, law has gone aside and replaced by lawlessness. You understand? When you can see woman, 2-year-old, being brutally murdered, given several shots, not even one shot, several shots. Her granddaughter gone with her same way. We look see the little baby, them a get gunshot like nothing. 3-year-old. We look and see the mother with the white brief, looking like a maroon color on her head. Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, that was so heart-wrenching to bear. I just look at myself at 3-year-old, I know when I was 3, I was nobody. Basically, in terms of having the whereabouts of what's happening around me. I don't visit with nobody. I can't do nothing to nobody. Yeah. So I just put myself in that place of that 3-year-old in Denham Town that was brutally murdered by some savage young Jamaican who tend to believe that politicians can only be their only hope. And so when politicians give them the guns, yeah, it gives them the power to destroy the fellow communities, member, and fellow Jamaican. You understand? And that is a very sad state of affair. So under no circumstance when I see mother crying on a regular basis, when I see my Jamaican people coming out and stating the obvious that enough is enough, and I hear garbage like crab and garbage like the one Kevin O'Brien Chang, who by the way are them control for Fontana Pharmacy down in a Mandeville. Yeah, so that's why I'm have to come out, come talk to the government. Let me tell you the people. And the same nastiness that. Yeah, so when I will get nothing different, that's why we hold them accountable and send them shit to the prison when the right time come. Because them carry out atrocity upon the nation, Yeah? Them tell lies, so you charge them for treason. You understand what I say? Yeah. So when we see my people, them are crying, no business where them want to come from, them are my Jamaican people. Yeah? Everybody in a Jamaica is a Jamaican. No matter if you come from east, west, north, south, shake it all about whatever community, you are Jamaican. And you must have the rights to life in your country. You cannot be paying the state to kill you. And that is what's happening in Jamaica right now. Taxpayers are paying the state to kill them. No one knows which day will be their day in Jamaica as it relates to what is going on. People not dying of old age anymore. That 82-year-old Smyrna, she never died of old age. She died of the state. Bullets, several of them. Jamaica manufacture gun or ammunition. Yet still the country is so much overloaded and overburdened with guns, legal guns and ammunition. Yeah? And where we find our policemen that is being subsidized by taxpayers, now becoming taxpayers' worst enemy, taxpayers' worst nightmare. Yeah, this has to stop. So I'm calling on all the civil groups in Jamaica, like Jamaica for Justice, even though only late, but step up to the plate now. Umbrella group of churches who don't know we don't like, but show some U-turn. Yeah, and come on board, because Jamaica need all hands on deck to deal with this problem. Now my brother them there in the space, I will come, I will take to the table every week. Yeah, and we relate to people based on the critical knowledge. Yeah, and we have very good broad scope of knowledge. Yeah, because we get info, we do research, and we use the eye and we see, and we use the ears and we hear back one. So we have a broad scope, a wealth of knowledge. Yeah, coming from even beside them, knowing what their mode of operandis is, knowing how they operate, know what they have in store. Yeah, and when we come and attack to people are being stubborn, and I choose Barabbas over Jesus, it make me quiver. It make me quiver in my heart, brother. But me not give up the journey, me not give up the fight. You go stay in the hot seat as Mr. Melting Pot, me and my brother them and fight this government to the bitter end. God, this administration bitter, This administration bitter, it's brutal, and it have no consideration for life. Yeah? So when you feel like Andrew have in our bosom, Andrew have nowhere, Andrew leave and let go and long time. Andrew is all for himself and size 14 and the two boys. Yeah? Because remember, a man that does not encamp it around the spiritual remnants of the Lord, cannot be a leader, that piece of shit. He's a destructor. You understand? He's a Judas, he's a betrayer, and betray the Labour Party supporters, them. Me them not talk about the comrade. Him own supporters, him betray them. They are coming out now, and I appreciate the fact that they are coming out now and speaking in terms of how this garbage guy I deal with them and mash up them. Several of them have come out now and state the obvious. Yeah? They are not in favor or agreement with this piece of shit leading the country. Because they have seen where their life has been destroyed. They have seen where education has taken away from them kids. Because when you don't have no school and compound the matter, you can't even send your kids to school. You can imagine a two things are facing in education, Basically, no school, no teacher, no day in Jamaica, Because when you have the education that's been under nurtured, yeah, and under fund as it relates to resource, where we teach them how to believe. We tell us no school not there. But then again, even if the school didn't even exist, people them can't send them out to school. Them have to go sell them skin and all them stuff there. And some people are turned off by that, because not like you go do it one time, you have to do it consistently to send your them to school. You understand? And furthermore, you can give them a breakfast to go to school. So everything mash up in a Jamaica, It mash up in a way that's the little common thing where people love to have little sweet in their mouth. The man want to tax that, the man tax that, no one. Man tax that to the tune of $10.1 billion. You can imagine, man. So me I go say to you again, Andrew, make sure no bun about the sea style with no face pan it, because that's sweet, Me I remind you last week. Make sure no we don't see no bun with no politician face from Jamaica Labour Party. Take that off of your agenda. Hear that? Take that off of your agenda, and people boycott all the sweet product them, man. Off of the shelf, man. Because when you do that now, you're going to make the pure soldier them turn pan him, Like how you see Lee Chin start turn pan him, Like how Omar Ozan they come out and a turn pan him, And several more, Man from separate group of company. Yeah? Richard Pundi. Yeah? Pandy away one. When they come out and turn pan him. Yeah? So the table start to turn. Jamaican people now, the massive ramp up that now. Boycott the sweet thing where Andrew and put tax pan. 1 month of that kill him. Me I tell you now. Because the pure soldier, them can't take a month of them product stagnated on the shelf. Here? And who them are going to turn to and blame? The piece of garbage. The piece of shit. The wannabe prime minister where we have down there. They all dunce. That no sense, you know. The all wrecker. They mash up any economy again. Him get a red carpet economy. Man Bruce Golden from Pakistan and wreck it. Wreck it! So it's time now, Jamaican people now, utilize the power that bestowed upon you guys because we know the government to keep reminding you know. And the poor people we have pay the tax of the government for the country, not who you put up there to govern the place. Those are some 63 people that been chosen, you understand, to run the thing, so you give them the governorship. But the people, the massive, is the government of the country. Government must take control of them country. Don't allow governor to take control of the country. Take back the country out of the hands of the Jamaica Labour Party. Get things done the right way, where this evil conniver, this brutal dictator, go through the justice system and rightfully charge. Rightfully charged because there is so much crime and Andrew Holness watch that you have to charge him for all of them. All of them. Remember, this guy used charitable money for him own use. That is wrong. Remember when in 2011, them set up a whole heap of thing round constituency for benefit constituency using a guy called Robert Gavin. 34 contracts. Yeah, what them do with that? What them do with that? The people that benefiting. And I know the people in this constituency has rejected him in the last general election. No two ways about that. As a matter of fact, the entire Jamaica rejected the Jamaica Labour Party. And they had to rob and steal the general election. You understand? So we know this guy is just a mere dopey in our place, basically. He's a ghost. He's not living in the moment where life exists. Yeah? Andrew is fretting more than now you see the clock ticking. Andrew knows say the minute the gate open on him and him enter into the judicial system, him is a gunner. I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
Jamaican people, well, thank you for passing through. Really appreciate it. I want to say we come to a close, so I'm just going to say big thanks to Melting Pot, and I want to say, wifey, just close us out, right?
Okay, guys, so bless up everyone and continue to have a wonderful week. Tomorrow is what, Wednesday?
Yeah.
So tune in to Mr. Rattigan on Wednesday and also on to all the other platforms as usual. And bless up yourself, Melting Pot. And I want to say safe travel on the gravel to everyone. Travel safely.
All right. Thank you once again. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right start that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.